Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Comes back in. It's lifted to deep right field. Towards the corner. Goodbye. Ohtani goes deep. And the Dodgers lead game 3 on a pair of solo home runs, 2-0. Breaking ball. Drilled to left center field. Pajes going back. He's at the track. He's at the wall. It's gone. Perkins changed game 3 with a 3-run shot. Down the line, fair ball in a tie game. Freddie Freeman comes through again. Locked at 4.
That's all I talk about every week, because it's the same as if like you're going out there and you're facing somebody and people are like, oh, you guys are favorites. This will be easy. It's the same thing. It's like none of that matters. Every team every week is going to show up and play their tails off against you. And that's part of going from a team that hasn't won to a team that's starting to win. Like you start realizing, like, wait a minute now. You guys remember like first year when you got the schedule, you guys were like, oh man, we got these guys at this time. Well, you want to start to become a team that people circle, right? So you're going to get everyone's best shot. With all that being said, I mean, we just try to look at the tape, and I think our guys had elite respect for Northwestern, and I know they have elite respect for USC. You know, you watch their run game, you watch their defense, you watch, the guys they have on defense. I mean, it's as talented a team as there is in the country. So we'll have to play with great effort and technique.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centrist Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How are we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you feeling this morning?
Well,
You a little sleepy?
same soup, just reheated. Just reheated.
I don't even know what that means.
Just a day in the life. Very little sleep. Although this time it wasn't spent with like wasteful energy. It was, I'm watching Portland give it to LA, and every time a guy's in scoring position in a baseball game, I somehow think they're going to score.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen.
Dude, it was incredible.
Why would they do that?
So, in the meantime, do you know what got booted off the box first? And keep in mind, I only went with 3, so I went with the trio box, not the quad box.
Monday Night Football got booted first.
Booted.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Chiefs when the Chiefs start having fun, and
yeah, we're in trouble.
Out there,
we might be in a little bit of trouble.
It ain't good. So we went ahead and got them out of there once it got to be, I don't know, probably 28-7.
Yeah, that's when I lost it.
But it was just like a circus.
Yeah.
And apparently the Commanders don't want to take advantage of any opportunity. So I'm like, you know what? Lakers are about to tip this thing. And the Dodgers at that point were probably only in about the 6th inning.
Mm-hmm.
So
you didn't realize you were only a third of the way through it?
Yeah, I had no idea. And my sister, bless her heart, she's just a diehard sports fan.
Yeah.
But she's a Yankees fan.
Ugh.
And a Knicks fan.
Ugh.
So we're like polar opposites. She's a Cowboys fan.
Oh, she's like Rico.
I'm a big franchise. Big franchise fan. Not that I can. I mean, Lakers and Dodgers, small market. So she'll hit me with like random texts, like, Dodgers bats are hot, and then boom, it's 4-2 Jays. So I'm like,
you're like, don't do that right now.
Yeah, we're gonna put you on ice. And so I was just locked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So for me, there's a couple things I care about.
Dodgers baseball is one of them.
I got to see Kershaw and Scherzer. I asked for this. I was like, can I just see?
Yeah, one time.
2 surefire Hall of Famers in high leverage situations. Mm-hmm. I asked the great Jesse Rogers, right? And I got to see it. Now, I'm not even going to hold you. I was nervous as all get out. I mean, PDP spot when Kershaw came with the full beard. It looked raggedy. It had some gray in it. I'm like, holy poop. Old man's coming out here with the
Old Man
socks,
River.
Socks
he is like
jacked.
41.
Zip it, Marty. He was fantastic with the 12-6 dribbler curveball, and I was like, ooh, flip that thing on over, flip that thing on over.
Don't leave it hanging.
So I was pumped. They gave him the crowd was like, "Ooh, CK," that was awesome. Scherzer still is crazy as ever. No, I'd love to see that guy hit the Rorschach test.
Oh, he's nuts. Like full on psycho.
Hey, what'd you see? Grim Reaper? No, actually, that was a butterfly.
I'm curious what your Rorschach test would be like.
I don't know. Everything would be about sharks and killer whales.
I was just say that's an orca.
Yep. I'd sprinkle in some lions.
You're like, that's a blood splatter at a murder scene.
It's not true. It'd be fingerprints. I'm not a gore dude. Let's not misconstrue it. I like the art of the hunt. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a big splatter guy. Although your boy was sparring in the shower this morning and slipped and cut the old heel on the jet in the tub.
So what were you doing?
Were
you like shadow boxing?
Yes.
In the shower?
I was pretending to hit the water. It's dumb. I'm well aware.
Well, you gotta understand.
Well aware. I just was playing a game to see if I could get.
It's fine until you hurt yourself while you're doing it.
Yeah, I'm a little misstep. And so my heel slid back, and it got. So I'm like the king of the stupid but bothersome cut. So I have one on my finger.
Yeah, you've had that one for a minute.
Oh, and it's in a horrible spot.
Yeah, that thing's never gonna heal.
One of my trainers, bless her heart, Angela. She's like as good as anybody as we have. No disrespect to Sean Campbell, he's fantastic because he leads that team. But Angela's like, she's just anyway. She's unbelievable. So I came in there the other day, and I'm like, hey, and I'm supposed to be a tough guy, right? I don't like when people go over to the trainer. I don't do anything. So your boy Mosey's in the trainer's room.
Isaiah Mosey?
Usually I check to see who's in there. Like, who's gonna pretend to want to need to come out late to practice, right? So I'm totally that dude. So I don't like anybody in the training room. So everybody kind of hides and goes find corners and stuff like that. And she's like, DB, what's up? And I was like, hey, can you come here for a second? She's like, who are you looking for? I was like, no one. I have an annoying cut, but I can't walk out there with a Band-Aid. Do you have any glue?
Why can't you walk out there with a Band-Aid?
Dude, I'm not going to put a Band-Aid on my fingertip.
You seem very hurt right now.
Number one, I can't use my phone.
That's one of the most common places for Band-Aids is on the fingertip.
Yeah, not doing it.
Okay.
Not doing it. Plus, it has to be bendable.
Which is the top there. You can still bend the rest of the knuckles, right?
Yeah, but have you ever tried? I got to do things. So I didn't.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't want a Band-Aid.
All right.
So I'm looking through every cupboard in that place for glue. And she goes, oh, I have my own private personal deal.
Yeah.
So she goes, you sure you just want glue? And I was like, yeah, just give me the glue. She goes, it's going to sting. I said, I'm pretty tough. She said, it's going to sting. I said, I'm pretty tough. She put it on, and I got a bead of sweat. So that became the running joke the last 4 or 5 days. So now when I just go in there, she's like, need more glue? Yeah, this thing probably needs stitched, and I am hanging on by a thread. So I have the 2 annoying cuts. Shoes and socks are a struggle, and so's anything else. But anyway.
All from shadow boxing in the shower. How'd you get that one? How'd you get the finger?
So you know the mounts that you have on shelves? And the shelves sit on the little pegs that go in the holes. Well, the peg broke, and it's lodged in the hole.
Yeah.
So I thought there were some more pegs in one of the drawers in the kitchen. So I'm just fishing around under the dish towels. I'm like, and we have a veggie slicer.
Oh.
But it has like 65 parts to it.
Yeah.
You know, the green one, and you hit, and I'm like fishing around, and that joker was like, soup.
Oof.
Yeah. It alleviates. I don't do it anyway, but like, this is like an anti-nose picking cut. It's you can't get it makes you be very accurate with TP. Like, you can't.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not trying to get any poop on that thing.
Oh, it's great. So like, it's built in, surefire. Pay attention.
You get an infection, you lose that finger.
So it's like it has some benefits, but it's annoying. So I'm watching Kershaw, and I get to see Scherzer, and I was just thinking, we'll forget about that game because we won't forget about it, but it'll like
some of the nuance will be lost.
That game, like just watching surefire Hall of Famers, like Kershaw and Scherzer and Betts and Freeman and Ohtani, and it's just like,
how's Ohtani the 5th guy you named? Come on, man.
He's the youngest.
he was on base 9 times.
Oh, well aware. He's the youngest.
Okay.
So he probably, if the game was over today, like if
baseball got canceled, there's no more baseball ever.
Like you're sure Ohtani's in.
I mean, I think so, but
okay, that's what I'm saying.
I think so.
But Betts is in.
Yeah.
Kershaw's in.
Yeah.
Scherzer's in.
I'm just saying, Kershaw
even Freeman is in before Ohtani, I think.
On career resume, yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Even
though Ohtani's the better player.
Not a single one of those people have reached the heights that Ohtani has, but they all have a better career resume.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why.
All right.
Come on,
not anything else? Not I sent you a text last night and you just ignored me.
I don't, because you make it seem like I'm disliking him. I don't dislike Ohtani.
I just said he's good. He's really trying to make you love him. That's what
I don't love him.
He's trying. He's trying to make you love him.
So do you know where I maybe turned the corner?
Where?
After he was stinking up the joint. And St. Louis Jordan texted me one night after a game, and this was divisional series maybe. Mm-hmm. He goes, how about the dilemma of walking Ohtani to get to Betts to maybe get to – this was before even like last night where it was really tough. Like you intentionally walk Shohei and Mookie to get to Freeman?
Yeah, that's nuts.
Now, it paid off that time.
Until it didn't.
Like, what a debacle. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to be that dude.
Yeah.
So he was stinking up the joint, and Jordan was like, why would you pitch to Ohtani? And I said, he has a hole in his bat.
Mm-hmm. That's when he was like flailing and he was losing his backside
and
out.
even on that triple or whatever, I was it still wasn't a good swing.
Yeah, he was kind of flicked at it.
St. Louis Jordan was like, well, I still didn't pitch to him. And I was like, that's fine. So Ohtani was so pissed that he went and took BP under the lights at the stadium. And that's not his personality because everybody he's a little loose.
Yeah. Jovial, I think is a word people would use.
Yeah, he's just a little loose. So
a little goofy almost even.
Like it changed the trajectory of the rest of his postseason because he's
pretty dialed now.
NBA jams, right? He's on fire.
Pretty dialed in right now.
So I wasn't really rocking with I'm not even going to hold you. So the thing that bugged me, it's not even the Anaheim Angels thing.
Yeah. That's where it started, though, right?
It did start there.
Okay.
It's the whole I have this persona, right? You can't know my dog. Don't stay out of my personal life. But I'm really a squirrel.
Maybe that's why he doesn't want people in his personal life because he's a weirdo.
So I'm like, man, I don't know if I can ride with this dude.
Yeah.
Didn't have anything to do with his baseball.
Well, it'd be hard to have anything to do with his baseball. The baseball's pretty good.
Although, I'm funny. I know so much about baseball. I used to say things like, I don't even know if he's that good of a pitcher.
Yeah, no, he's pretty good.
Yeah, I used to say that.
He's pretty good at everything.
He'd done it 3 years in a row. I'm like, well, let's see him do it 4.
He's pretty good at all of the things.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm well aware.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So,
did you ever think in your lifetime you would have 2 18-inning Dodger World Series games?
No.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
No, but I love that. It's my second favorite of all the franchises that I cheer for. Who's won?
Nebraska.
No.
They don't count?
They're the last.
Oh.
That's 80.
Well. Oh, you mean chronologically.
Yeah. Who's my favorite franchise of all time?
Steelers.
Yeah. Who's 2?
Dodgers.
Who's 3?
I think you might get mad at me here.
Lakers.
Correct.
Oh, I was going to say, because USC's in there somewhere, aren't they?
They're not.
They were early.
They're early.
Because your dad liked them,
they're
right?
not in like
They're not in the same pantheon.
They're not the Steelers, the Penguins, the Dodgers, the Lakers.
Okay.
And it's college. So they're clearly after Nebraska.
Gotcha.
And it took Nebraska, it took a Jeff Quinn debacle. And Buster Rhymes pissing me off to like, that's the time I hid my lazy Susan.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want my dad to see me crying on the way back from Lincoln. And that's the order. So Steelers was the first jersey that I had, you know, the Montgomery Wards, Terry Bradshaw. And it was funny, too, because Coach Huffman, who, by the way, shout out WS, we played him Friday, he had the Remington gear, and it would have been natural for me to have, like, Turner Gill.
Yeah.
Nah, your boy had Bradshaw. And I don't even like Bradshaw.
I was going to say.
But in my defense of TB, he used to be really good on television. Now he's just become
like a caricature of himself almost.
Yeah,
but he was really good for a while.
He used to be really good for a while.
There's a couple guys you don't. Who did you like on those Steelers teams? Because you didn't really like Lynn Swann either, did you?
Can't stand Lynn Swann.
Yeah.
I don't like Lynn Swann today.
Yeah.
So this is not a new thing.
No, I know. That's why it's funny to me.
So my favorite is Lambert.
I would say Jack Lambert.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's all defensive guys.
And then Mean Joe Green. Like Jack Lambert is he's Kershaw-esque. He's Pall Mall-esque. He's way up there.
Yeah.
And I like some random Steelers like Greg Lloyd.
Oh, Greg Lloyd's not random. He was really good.
People sleep on him.
No, he was really good in the 90s. I remember him. With the big fat face mask.
Yeah, with the bar. He looked
crazy.
terrible, but he was
really good. Him and Kevin Green. They were on the same teams though. Like they were on. Okay, that's fine, but they were part of a good defensive line.
Green treated me, and I would too. I was super D-baggy, but treated me like to poop on his shoe.
Yeah.
His first year in Carolina, I was like,
oh yeah, I forgot you guys overlapped in Carolina.
Yeah, not gonna like this guy.
What?
Yeah, exactly, JC. What? Yeah, out on Kevin Green.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he drove Dom Capers crazy.
Were you out on him before that or no?
Yeah.
Okay. You never liked him?
It's just not my style. I don't like Hulk Hogan.
Oh, he does look like a lot.
So
I like Hulk Hogan.
It just doesn't fit my eye.
Yeah.
And remember, I'm shallow, so it's like it's all about the looks. Like you can be a good player, but if I don't like the way you look, I probably can't.
Listen, I get it. I'm the guy who I just don't aesthetically like how that guy plays, so I'm out.
Yeah, that's my. How about this for like if I was going to go to court and is going to uphold in the court of law?
Yeah.
How about me telling the judge, like DB, gonna sentence you to 6 years for terrible judgment. You don't like the way Walter Payton looked in his gear. You didn't like the way he ran. No, Your Honor, I think it sucked. This guy goes for $14K in his career on bad team. Yeah, but man, did you see the way he ran? I just don't like it. Yeah, they're getting hemmed up. Bye-bye.
You want to? I don't know why. This case is closed. Shut it down.
Court is adjourned. Like that, I'm the guy that would say that.
You'd be like, yes, Your Honor, I thought he sucked.
But I couldn't really say it with a straight face.
Like, I get it's stupid, but it's how I feel.
I just hate the way he ran.
You know, I was for some reason a video came. I don't know why this made me think of it. There's a video came across my page. I don't even remember what app I was on, and it was showing the '95 All-American team.
Yeah,
which is just stacked, right?
Oh yeah.
And
how about that old line?
But yeah, it's like Pace and Ogden. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Got Ray Lewis on there.
Who? Are you ready for this?
You gonna say he's overrated?
Yes, as a college player. Swear to goodness.
As just a college player?
Yes.
Okay, fair.
Yes.
I think that's more fair.
Yes. Now,
there's a reason he got drafted where he got drafted.
I thought he was extremely overrated. It was a lot of hoopla that surrounded him.
Yeah.
I didn't think as like functionality in college, he was a great player. He's really good.
Yeah.
But I'll take Ed Stewart every day that ends in Y. Stewart was incredible.
Ended up being a pretty good pro though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's hey.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad you clarified the college part. Yeah.
Just ask me. Like I'll tell you.
But there was so Eddie George is on that team.
Yeah.
And
not a fan.
I'm not really either. But I
tell you about seeing Eddie George at Combine. It's terrifying.
Big dude.
Yeah, I'm frumpalicious and some like legit boxers, like the baggy ones. Dudes in like a Speedo booty shorts, and I was like, huh. He's pretty good size.
You're like, that looks different.
Anyway.
So it's kind of funny you bring that
I
up.
got lots of funny stories. You want to be an author? You could write my book.
Let's do it. Yeah, I could ghostwrite for you.
Yeah.
I
would be like Drake. You hate Drake.
You know what would be funny is I would definitely add like commentary notes.
Of course you would.
Like I would leave what you said, but then like you'd have the footnotes at the bottom.
Yeah.
Be like, Ravi thinks this.
Yeah.
I feel like that would sell.
No.
We could do an audiobook. We could narrate it.
No. Oh, we never get done.
But like I forgot how, like, I used to think Eddie George, and obviously he was a big guy and he's a really big running back, but the size of the shoulder pads those guys were wearing.
Eddie George was amazing looking. He looked like a goddamn Greek god.
Yeah. But like the shoulder pads are sitting this high off the shoulders. And I used to think that every running back in the 90s was like 260 pounds because of that. Because they're just like sitting that. And Ray Lewis's were too. Ray Lewis's were huge.
You know, and it's all distorted for me. You know, I remember I grew up. This is funny. I grew up thinking guys like Ken Clark and Calvin Jones were big backs.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm going to look up.
Listen, CJ couldn't have been, but maybe 6 foot, maybe 200 pounds. But when you're 5'9", $160, you're like, that's a big back. I thought Ken Clark was a big back. Ken Clark couldn't have been but 215.
5'11", 205 for Calvin Jones.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like Clinton to me was a big back.
Yeah.
Those guys aren't big.
No, not really.
Not
I mean,
You're exactly right.
not like Eddie George.
So after 4 years, almost 4.
5'9", 201 for Ken Clark.
Coach Satterfield dapped me up through the window.
Yeah?
He went. So I was like, yes, I've made it. Finally. I could barely get the guys to look at me. Except for Sean Patton. That's my boy. He's the only dude that gives me eye contact. Everybody else is like, I'm super dialed.
Well, I say, game day, Sean has less to do than some of these
Nobody's
other guys.
worse on game day than me.
Just a little squirrely.
Maybe Kyle. But outside of that, you talk about dialed. So you want to know the funny thing that Casey did? I'm just story time with DB today.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Sharpie would always do pregame in the studio, right? Remember, I'd always joked he'd come in and he was the only guy that knew how to really work the remotes and he'd get all the TVs set up. But Ben and I had been doing the show for a couple hours and we were just getting ready to go off, and Sharpie would just be getting ready to come on. So we always did it together, like in the studio. We kind of hang around and we'd high five, and Jess would stroll on in. Casey's like, yeah, you guys can do it in the new studio. I'm going to go up to the press box and get a feel. So Biddy Mac had to break the ice. I'll go down on the field and do the hit with Jess. And Ben goes, well, I'm going to go check on Kyle and make sure everything's good. And I'm like, all right, shoot me a text and let me know when I can come in.
The chat's popping already today.
The chat, it's probably because I'm dumb.
Why?
I get it. I say a lot of stupid things.
Why it says Hines Ward ? Or just his one half?
No. So Hines, no. I'm listen. Not the 8. Like I'm all out on Hines.
I would say
Ward.
you hate Hines Ward.
But do you know why? Do you know the Hines Ward story? And I'm the king of second chances. Sometimes third.
I don't think so.
He had the worst recruiting visit.
Oh, that's right.
Of anybody not named Odell James in the history of my hosting recruiting.
Yeah.
Yes. Unlikable.
Really?
Listen. He almost didn't make it. When Hines Ward got on the plane to go back to after his visit, I could have told you I would have scooped all the recruiting services.
Yeah.
He ain't coming. You gonna try to say you're better than T. Phrase? What? Knock it off. But nobody was worse than Odell James.
How's that? I don't remember Odell James.
Odell James was about to be a dude. I think he ended up going to Baylor, and my man was like the Human Torch. Flame on, flame off. Then it was flame out. Like, bye-bye. Odell James was a dude. He had filthy film.
Yeah, he went to Baylor.
Yeah, went
to Baylor Bear.
Yeah.
Didn't play a ton.
He almost did make. Ask Abdul
Didn't
ask
play a
Abdul
ton.
about that visit.
Alex says Walter Payton runs like my 2-year-old runs down the hallway.
Yeah, so the only person that so Vers was almost a fight, legit. Over Payton,
over Walter
and Severe. They're really the only two that like get mad about my Walter Payton hot takes.
Which Vers makes sense because Bears fan, right?
And I don't know what it is about Severe. He's just passionate about. I don't know, but he does not like when I speak poorly of Walter.
Wyatt, are you coming to the show on Friday?
I'm just hoping.
Just asking.
Yeah.
Dixie says Ray Lewis passed all those drug tests.
So are you vibing with Dixie Wrecked? That's not a real name.
That's why I just called him Dixie.
But he comes in with like some hot takes, gets in, gets out.
Did you hear what it sounds like when you said it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, well aware.
All right.
Hey, guess what?
What's up?
That's why I don't really say it.
Well, you just did. Like you said it so casually. I was like, oh, all right.
I have my Ron Burgundy moments. Not this time.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Exactly.
No, the funniest thing about that, Mr. Wrecked, is I remember. Do you remember the deer antler spray phenomenon?
Oh, with your boy VJ?
With Ray Lewis.
Singh was first.
Oh yeah, he was. But
Yeah.
there was the one where it was 2012, right? Because he made it back for the Super Bowl against the 49ers.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, he had a torn tricep, but he used deer antler spray. I was like, no, you're mispronouncing HGH.
Again,
And it's set
I'm
up.
not even going to hold you. I love professional Ray Lewis.
That's fine. That's fine.
I know.
There's a 0% chance. First of all.
Go ahead. Here's my wrist. Would you like to slap it?
No, you can love him. It's fine.
I feel a wrist slap coming.
No, it's just there's 0% chance that deer antler spray, which is not bioavailable orally, which is what he was saying, like you spray in your mouth.
It's like Degree when they went to
it's
the
not
aerosol.
It's not like deodorant, man. Like that's not healing a torn tricep. You know what would? HGH. There's some things there that
I wondered why TK and I were connected spirits.
58?
Yeah, he said he wore 58 his whole. You're not even old enough, TK.
You know he's a historian. Come on. It's like me with Larry Bird. Like I don't remember watching Larry Bird play.
Oh, I do.
Like he's right before when I started watching.
Pheromones, fellas, works every time.
That's how he got his name.
See, that's why
funny.
that's why I don't judge our chat, because he's hard to like sometimes because he says some crazy things, but he's funny.
Yeah.
So I can take the good with the bad. He doesn't bother me.
You just have to deliver the good every once in a while. And he did right there.
Now, Nortec day before, I don't know, man. He put himself back on the bad side.
Tim says, is the deer antler stuff the worst thing that Ray Lewis ever did?
I mean, outside the city of Atlanta, probably yes.
Allegedly.
I don't know anything.
Allegedly.
I don't know. So I'm sorry, BP. Like, I get it. And I know when I say what I say about Walt, it pisses some people off.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just not.
I get it, though. There's certain, I mean, even for me, there are certain people that I gravitate to because of either nostalgia or like I watch them growing up that don't fit my eye of what I like now. But it's just, oh, I liked that guy and I really liked him and he was important to me growing up. So he kind of gets a pass on aesthetically what it looked like.
And with me, BP, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Like, I cheered for Pedro Guerrero because I thought he was just like regular black, not like from someplace else black.
Like Dominican?
Yeah.
I think he's Dominican, right?
And so like when I was like 5 and I was like, all these sweet hitters in baseball are right-handed or left-handed. I need somebody that looks like me. I want to go with Pedro Guerrero. I had no idea that my Dominican friend barely spoke English and he only had a 61 IQ.
Did he really?
Yes. Did you not know that?
I did not know that he only had a 61 IQ. I thought you were just being,
when Pedro Guerrero was
being
trying to
mean.
beat when he was trying to beat distribution charges of coke, his lawyer argued he was too stupid to be a drug dealer. In court, Ravi, he said Pedro Guerrero cannot make his own bed. Did you not know that?
I did. This is new to me. I had no idea.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought you were just being mean.
Oh, I'm not mean. Clearly, I'm not mean enough for you. No. I think Pedro Guerrero is like 61 IQ.
During a 2000 drug conspiracy trial, former MLB player Pedro Guerrero's attorney claimed that his IQ was 70. The attorney used this as defense, arguing Guerrero's cognitive limitations prevented him from understanding he was involved in a drug deal.
See? Your boy remembers. I'm like a vault.
His lawyer stated Guerrero dropped out of 6th grade in the Dominican Republic, had difficulty with basic adult tasks such as writing checks and managing insurance.
Yeah, he basically was like, this dude's too stupid to be trafficking drugs.
He was that. Listen, the defense worked. He was acquitted of all charges.
Yeah. Even though he had like 30 kilos in his trunk.
You need people like me.
Okay, that's a little much. Let's not do that.
You need people like me.
That's a funny drop, Shane.
We're just not gonna. I can slander Pedro. You can't pile on. Relax.
It's still pretty funny.
Good morning again.
Okay. Jeez. Yeah, he literally argued he was too stupid. Wait, is Travis messing with me? How are IQ tests culturally biased?
I think it's like the thing with all standardized tests. They say like a lot of them have a cultural.
So like, is there a European benchmark and an African benchmark? And
no, I think the
Pacific Rim benchmark.
I think the argument is the people that write the tests are typically from a certain background, and so their limited scope of understanding biases the test towards people of similar backgrounds. That's the argument for standardized tests.
Can I just say this and not have this be a hot take?
I would like to know.
I'm clearly ruining the first hour this morning.
I would like to know if he took it in English or Spanish. That's what I want to know.
I'm just going to ask the question.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're always talking about cultural bias. I don't want to ask a leading question.
Okay.
When you think of optimal intelligence as an ethnic group, optimal intelligence,
I don't. Okay.
Like, do you think WASP?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
So who's biased?
If I think no, it's the people who write the test.
Okay, but who are they? They don't look like him.
They might. I don't know. That's the argument.
Who do that? So my question, it's don't answer. Don't, because we're already in all sorts of trouble every day. Don't ask. But times have changed.
Yes. If you were to say, hey, if you were going to give me a lineup of different cultures,
yeah,
and say point to the smartest guy,
yeah. Okay, right.
They probably look like me or Wyatt. So like that's
why you throw yourself into there?
There's a lot of smart Indians.
Don't mean you could write.
I can't read.
Wow. I felt like you lacked objectivity.
I mean, it depends on the subject. Like spelling bee, I'd pick my people. Math, I'd pick Wyatt, you know.
Yeah, Dixie, ain't it? Oh, here's Scott.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you. I'm just saying, if you roll up for open heart surgery and your guy looks like my dad, you are in good hands. Lord. You're like Allstate, baby.
Surprise, surprise.
If it looks like Shane, you're like, I don't know. I feel like
Oh, you didn't know?
To think this started with surefire Hall of Famers in an 18-inning game.
I feel like Jack Nicholson when he's in A Few Good Men, like when you see a guy that looks like my people about to do your open heart surgery, he's like, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
You can't handle the truth.
Wow, awful fast this morning, Shane.
I'll answer the question.
You don't have to, sir. He didn't have to answer that question.
He wanted to. That was the whole thing.
You want answers?
I'll give you answers.
I think I'm entitled to it. One of the greatest.
I want the truth.
So do you know that they didn't film that in the same room together?
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson shot that by himself?
Yeah, I watched I like that movie a lot. I've watched some behind the scenes stuff.
I like that movie a lot too.
Yeah. Aaron Sorkin wrote that one. I'm a big Aaron Sorkin fan. Aaron Sorkin? It's not Sir Moreland. It's a different guy. That's the guy that Ray Lewis went to heal his tricep.
Hey, so when Nick texted me, our guys from Next Gen, about the Sir Moreland, he at least spelled it for me correctly. But do you know what he gave me for another one?
You told me the BPC 157, right?
How do you remember that?
I'm familiar with the compound.
Okay, so it's not funny anymore.
No, that's a good one. That's like good for like healing and
yeah. He goes
like injury.
I'm like, what? It sounds like a lab experiment, but I was like, ooh,
yeah,
I'm a guinea pig. I'm in.
Yeah.
What is BPC?
It's called Body Protecting Compound 157. That's what the BPC stands for.
Like Oaktown 357.
Yep. And I'm unfamiliar with that reference.
Okay, Shane, I'll buy you breakfast on Friday if you can tell me what famous performer did Oaktown 357 collab with.
You had me at hello.
You're an idiot. No, I'm dead serious. Oaktown 357.
I have no idea.
I'll give you. Stop it.
Okay. I haven't.
I'll give you. I'll give you the city. I'll give you the city.
That the performer's from?
Oakland.
MC Hammer.
Oakland. Okay.
That is correct.
Famous Oakland A's bat boy, MC Hammer.
Yeah.
Different.
I'm a bigger man.
Wow. Why didn't you say too short?
I like me.
2 Chainz?
I look at me now and I see all the warts.
Tupac?
Oh, that gives me John Baylor vibes.
I would buy me a cigar.
He does a commercial, and I laugh every time because I'm like, it is so serious, but it's not JB. We play it every pregame show.
I like me.
I'm like, wait a minute, that's John Baylor.
I'm gonna buy me a cigar.
Shut up.
I would buy me a cigar.
Right.
I just love sometimes when Nick goes into these voices. He has like just a tinge of his Dana Altman drawl, you know?
Shane, I can't believe you pegged that.
Did I do that?
It's kind of pissing me off.
Urkel, also smart.
But so I'll put it on the $15 for your free Jimmy Buffett, which, by the way, could turn into a party. We want everybody to. If Coach Williams and Jernigan actually do come, they may turn this thing out.
Yeah.
No, coincidentally, an MC Hammer song. We came to turn this mother out. You know, he had the pajama pants.
Yeah.
He would like. Okay.
I think they're parachute pants, not pajama pants. Pajama pants are a little different. They have the button in the front, you know? In case you need to go to the bathroom or something.
You know what I want to say?
What? What? Listen, nothing else has stopped you this morning. What?
They give me Aladdin genie pants.
Oh, no, yeah,
vibes.
for sure. For sure. 100%. Parachute pants 100% look like Aladdin pants. That is absolutely accurate.
Oh.
That's not even a hot take. That's just the accurate take.
Thank you for allowing me to get that out.
Yeah, no, that's 100% That's absolutely true. Honestly, the whole get up.
That's just get back for you asking me about the fried chicken recipe. Don't think I forgot about that.
That was off air.
Well, save the soft and spicy. Dude, it's fire. You heard me?
Oh,
actually, that whole get up that Aladdin is
Tanner,
rocking.
it's because I'm on 1.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah, because he stayed up for an 18-inning baseball game. That whole Aladdin get up, like the vest with no shirt, and like that's kind of a 90s rapper get up in general.
Do you want reparations? Like, what
no,
are you whining about?
I'm not. I'm just saying, like, I just realized in this moment, Aladdin was dressed like a 90s
Dude,
rapper.
How many people have made money off of African American fashion?
I'm just realizing it for the first time that's what it looked like.
Today years old.
Yeah, I had no idea. I thought that may have been an authentic Arabic look, but apparently it wasn't.
Authentic Arabic, huh?
I thought so. I mean, I assume that's where it's taking place with sultans and whatnot. It seemed like it.
Double A?
Aaron?
So we're not going to get to Derek and TK Shane?
I would say Shane just hit the music.
He knows we're bordering with getting released again.
Derek, TK, hold on here. We'll get to you on the way back. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla, Hurrdat Sports Live.
Did you see KCS? He said, does DB still hate Otani? I don't hate Otani. See what you did?
Yeah, a little bit, Casey.
That's a lie.
A little bit.
I explained it.
And then you're like, well, I don't love him. 9 for 9.
Fall into fearless savings this October at Edwards Nissan with upfront deals you can point to. Lease the 2025 Nissan Sentra SV starting at $249 a month for 36 months with $0 down. Sleek design, smart tech, and incredible efficiency. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Nissan.
DBK, got to give a shout out to Kelsey Fiend, Lexi, you got to, and the Stivvy Slide, you got to go with Stiverins.
I mean, Jordan Larson, of course, classic. Nicklin Hames, great setter.
Great call there.
Appreciate it. Otherwise, yeah, I'm kind of new to Husker volleyball. She's teaching me a lot.
Yeah.
So I have to say, Lexi Rodriguez, she was a stud here. And then shout out to Mary Beeson, the captain last year.
Absolutely. Great calls, guys. All right.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
I am being framed.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live.
You painted me, and nobody puts baby in the corner.
That's DBM Ravi Lulla. If you're in your car this morning, get that seatbelt fastened, make it click. Just like Micah Benning when he locks somebody up. Make it click.
Which, by the way,
that's from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. What's up?
There is something in my vehicle. I'm rocking with Warren. I want Warren to be my friend because he likes numbers and he's a crack statistician and
I'll say he had the steering wheel thing.
He had the steering wheel thing. Yeah. That's not it though.
What was it?
I don't know, but it tells me about where my eyes are. It's creeping me out. I'm about to send this back to the dealership. Yeah. I called Kevin. I said, hey, can I get a tutorial? He said, we'll have to FaceTime. That's what we do with our new customers. I go, I have Android, so can we just Zoom? It's telling me about where my eyes are. Hey, stay alert. and it gives me an eyeball thing.
It's watching you, man.
You know what I'm going to do today?
What?
I'm going to drive out of this parking lot, and I'm going to look just like this to the left, and I'm going to see if it knows. I'm going to put that thing to the test.
You're going to get in an accident?
No, I'm not.
Trying to fool the thing that's supposed to
Why
keep
is
you
it telling me those things, though?
So that you are paying attention to the road.
It's not the tension on the steering wheel. I'm telling you.
I don't know. I haven't had a Subaru. I don't know. I have no idea.
Got to keep watering the bamboo.
Hi, buddy. I love that dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
gotta keep watering the bamboo.
At some point.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I hope they have a spectacular season. Like, oh boy. I can't read. So wait a minute. See, you do that, and my heart sinks because somebody's probably killing me, and you're enjoying it.
Not. It's just Wyatt being Wyatt.
All right. I'm gonna. Fine. All right. Oh,
Wyatt.
You can't say that.
He can. I can't repeat it though.
I'm just saying, Wyatt, if you're looking for support, you never look like.
Just don't.
He always looks
Just
awake to
just
me.
Don't. Just don't.
I caught it.
No, you didn't.
I did.
I think Phantom Husker is still talking about Aladdin's outfit.
Dude, you keep messing with Phantom Husker, you're gonna get in trouble. Dude's crazy.
He says full-length button-down tearaway pants are the best. Rip them off in front of your friends and spend 30 minutes snapping back together every time.
I'm telling you,
the button-down pants were like a thing. That was my era.
Keep rocking with Phantom.
It was a funny
guys
comment.
are both gonna be in the naughty house.
That was a funny comment.
My man pushes the envelope.
What do you want me to do? You want me to not read funny comments anymore?
No, he's funny.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Ken says maybe it's using lane sensors and cameras to know if you're drifting.
See that?
Like
Okay.
Tokyo?
I'm gonna put it to
Tokyo
Not
drifting?
really.
No? You seem like a big Fast and Furious guy.
I was gonna say he's Korean. You just all inclusive this morning.
Ken's not. I don't think.
I think you were just trying to placate Wyatt because you thought you felt bad.
No, anytime I hear drifting, I think Tokyo. Third Fast and Furious. Underrated.
I don't know, Ken. I'm gonna put it to the test.
It sounds. You should do this in an empty parking lot. This sounds dangerous.
Because you like to turn it 90 degrees, you think everybody is like needs to go to driving school?
I think you should look forward while driving.
I am looking forward. I don't know why it thinks I'm looking someplace else. I can't even see.
No, but that doesn't inspire a lot of confidence.
I can see at night.
It's freaking bats.
And I can see far away.
That's all you need. I'm saying you were talking about turning your head to test it. That seems dangerous while you're driving on a
I
real
just
road.
want to know. Like I need like a placebo. So I want to grip the steering wheel straight 10 and 2, drive straight and look to the left. Now if it tells me something, then somebody's looking at me.
Yeah. That's really more of a 3 and 9, but that's okay. You were right here.
Mr. Standardized Test.
3
See,
and 9.
that's what I'm talking about.
I was pretty good at standardized tests. Maybe they are written by my people.
Of course you were.
Whoa, what's that supposed to mean? You admit I'm smart finally?
I don't know. I need some help. Is this smart, Derek?
I don't know. Let's get to Derek here.
Is this 308 smart, Derek?
It's Derek from Alliance. So
oh, that's smart, Derek.
Derek, what do we got today?
Hey, well, you guys are completely off the rails as usual, so I'm trying to bring it back a little bit.
It's DB's fault.
Always, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I'm the only fun one, Derek, to be honest.
What's up, Derek?
Well, I wanted to talk about offensive game plan a little bit against Northwestern. Why I think it went a little bit better.
Mr. Levity.
So the big picture, I think we called plays like our best player is Emmett Johnson and not Dylan Raiola. So
first hot
I think
take.
that's some of it. And then a couple other things. Just getting back to what Rule said when he said, "What can we do and what do we want to do?" I think that we tried to do a lot more about what can we do.
Let me ask you something.
For
Dave.
example,
Oh, go ahead. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
No. The floor is yours.
Like if you look at the fourth down plays, I think that the third fourth down play where we did the play action is admitting that we cannot line up and run on 4th and 1, because even though we got the first two, we don't get the first one unless EJ makes a huge play right as soon as he gets the ball. He makes somebody miss. Otherwise, that's a 2-yard loss. And then on the tush push, we haven't been good at the tush push all year. We should just throw that out. So I actually thought that the third play was much better call, because it's saying that we can't do this. We need to do something else. The last thing is we are really bad at deep balls. So we've had one
defending
deep ball
them or catching them.
Catching them.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say throwing them. We had one deep ball that was completable in the last 2 games, and we dropped it. So, but most of the deep balls that we throw are not completable, which is why we did so much better on the last drive, because we didn't try to throw anything more than 10 yards. I think. So that was my thoughts on kind of why the offensive game plan looked a little bit different than it did the other games.
All right, Derek, you're going to get me to come out to Alliance, but let's go first thing first. What does the running play look like for you that you have the most confidence in for Nebraska? Like, what do you like when you see the formation? What does it look like?
So I like when we have it's almost like a dive outside, like we're running right at the tackle.
Okay.
Like if you looked at some of the plays where the tackle and the guard cave in, and then the tight end is coming across and kicks out. Like we ran that play a lot in the first 2 games.
Okay.
And then especially against the light box, it was very successful. Like it seems like when we run that, then we have a good play for that.
Where's the running back? Is he behind the quarterback or is he offset?
Good question. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay. Is the quarterback in the gun or underneath center?
Quarterback's in the gun.
Okay. What else?
Other running plays?
Yeah. Is that the one?
I think that there's a couple more that we do. I mean, I think that jet sweeps can work. I think that to me actually was the worst call of the game. That whatever they called that going forward at the snap on the jet sweep they called on Hunter. That was so bad. But I don't want to get into the rest again. I think we did that enough. But I think that you can do that. I like interior. Let me think. I think like the sort of outside zone. It seems like we do better when we're hitting at the tackles.
Okay.
That I think EJ sees that better than we do, especially when they know we're running. When we know we're running, we are terrible. We can't run against that. That's what it seems like to me.
Okay, so look, I'll get you out of here on this. Now, you're about 6 hours in some change for me. Are you a good cook?
Oh, I'm decent, not terrible.
Okay, what's your?
I have a plate. I've got a place for you.
Okay,
here.
what is it?
It's called Golden Hour Barbecue.
Okay.
It's Texas barbecue. They got there's some sort of magazine that put they do rankings of barbecue outside of Texas, and this was top 10.
All right, Derek. Now I'm telling you, I'm gonna come hang out with you. I need a nice drive. I head west a ton. As long as there's something to eat, we'll talk football. You bring a lot to the show, man. I appreciate you.
All right, I got a quick story from my kid about this.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so he's 8, and he says, "Hey,
go.
Dad, why didn't you play football in college?" And I say, "Well, I went to a big school. I wasn't good enough to play football in college." And he says, I thought you went to Nebraska. So,
all right. I might not be coming to see you anymore.
I was going to say, speaking of kids that are a tough hang, my God. Derek.
So
That's tough. That's tough out here.
He's only 8.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
hello, Grace.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of, if you want to get the general how the last 8 years have gone in the eyes of 8-year-olds.
I get it.
That's how it goes.
Keep fighting a good fight, Derek. Appreciate you.
All right,
that's awesome.
We'll see you later.
Is TK still on the line, Shane?
6 hours. What's 6 hours? I get there in 6:20 probably.
It's a long time. Shane, do we still have TK?
What else you doing?
He's here right now.
All right,
Good morning.
Let's get TK here real quick. What's up, TK?
TK Lambert, what's up?
Okay, well, first off, I want to say that the 22 minutes I was on hold, it made me really think, because I ponder what prison's like a lot because that's part of my job. And I think that at the next meeting that we talk to the Kansas Department of Corrections, I'm going to add, we should just have the Hurrdat Sports hold music on constantly.
That's our version of Creed. That's our own prison. Court is in session. The wait time is in.
What's up, TK?
Yeah,
no
that's
call
what I
waiting
think
on
about
the
that.
docket today. Just my own sin. All right, TK, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. So, no, Jack Lambert, I loved Jack Lambert when I was 4 years old, when I saw that NFL Films short documentary, the one that had him posed, like they called him Dracula, and he was just murdering people. Yeah. I was like, that's what a football player is. So that's like, besides Nebraska, he's the one.
Okay. I like that. TK, what do you got
He's
on
the
SC?
one.
What do you got on SC?
Okay, so I'm kind of concerned with the just kind of resigning of the fates that lots of the fans and the media have seemed to have done already. That this game is going to be, we're going to have a track meet and all this stuff. Like, well, I don't think Nebraska wants to play it that way. Do you?
No.
I think that Nebraska probably wants to take USC and make them do what they did to pretty much everybody except for Michigan somehow, where they just are disinterested in fitting run gap, their run responsibilities, and basically like just do the Illinois thing.
So, SC's interesting because statistically you'd think they would be – there's something – right? Their points per expected drive is or their yards per expected drive is pretty high, right? They move the ball a ton. What do you think ails SC in terms of why they are what they are? Because statistically, especially on offense, you think they would be this juggernaut, but for whatever the reason they aren't. Does it defy or accentuate analytics when you look at SC versus the production?
I think with SC, you really got to break it down to a home versus away. Just like you did with, like, Lincoln Riley, I think, has only won one Big Ten away game, or two Big Ten away games.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was in Los Angeles.
Mm.
And he beat Purdue after 7 hours of rain. So I mean, their away stats are really an anchor on their offense because they drop. I'm sure you guys saw. I think Severe he always puts out his stats. They dropped They dropped 2 touchdowns worth of points when they're on the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just don't think that USC. I mean, if you let them make it a track meet, then I mean you might as well give up now. But like, if you can drag them into deep water
and see if they can swim,
make them
right?
play a 4-quarter game.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said drag them
play
into
a 4-quarter game.
See if they can swim.
Yeah. See if they're really about that life, fitting the run in the fourth quarter when it's 30-something degrees outside. And, I think Nebraska needs 2 of those long 6 to 8 minute drives, and that will suck out all life.
All right, TK, we appreciate the call. As always, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back in just a minute with Brett Ciancia from Pick 6 Previews. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. Hurrdat Sports Live.
The Kia Fall Savings Event is on at Edwards Kia. Fall into fearless savings with upfront deals on your favorite models. Lease a 2025 Kia Soul LX starting at $189 per month for 24 months with $2,000 due at signing. Style, efficiency, and a price that moves you. Smart looks, fearless savings. Or lease the 2025 Kia Carnival EX starting at $389 per month for 24 months with $2,000 due at signing. Comfort and tech made for every family adventure. Hurry, the Kia Fall Savings Event ends November 3rd at Edwards Kia.
We felt like there's some guys just watching practice. I'll talk about the D-line first. I'll go back. We felt like there's some guys just watching practice that deserve to play more, just based upon their effort in practice. And just, you start to get guys banged up and worn out a little bit. And so we kind of went the other way. Just say, we're going to put these guys in. Guys like David Huff can get in there and they, get pressure on the quarterback. Cade Petchock deserves to play more. And so it wasn't really, hey, these guys we don't play them as much. It was just more like, hey, let's send some waves. We knew Northwestern was going to run the football. And so we wanted to reward guys who've been practicing at a high level. We believe in practice. Our guys do a great job of taking care of their bodies. Drew Hamblin, our trainer, Mitch Cholowinski, sports science, Kristen and Corey, but all the people that work underneath him. I mean, we have these infrared beds that are amazing, and I can't even get in one anymore because there's a player always waiting. So they're for them, so they should, go first, obviously. But it's just our guys are so committed to taking care of themselves. I think they also understand if you let up in terms of the way you practice. I mean, you have to be smart, but you lose your edge, and we're a team that needs to have edge.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Now, the owner of Pick 6 Previews, Brett Ciancia.
And a pass is picked off. Pick 6. Pick 6 to the checkerboard end zone.
Pick 6 Previews, the #1 most accurate college football preview.
Go, big man, go. It's a pick 6.
Pick 6 Previews with Brett Ciancia.
Pick 6. Pick 6. Give me all of it.
Here is Brett Ciancia.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centrist Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Brett Ciancia from Pick 6 Previews. Brett, how are we doing this morning?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. It's an exciting week over in Lincoln, I'm sure, with USC coming to town, a huge matchup, really a season-defining game for both sides. So excited to be on and break it down with you guys.
Let's stay right there, B. You're a big analytics guy, and we just had a caller. We were talking about data and expected yards per drive, points per possession. There are some offensive analytics where you look at SC and you're thinking, wow, this is a really good football team. But they're a beautiful case study in terms of making decisions in the moment, whether it's fourth down or third downs or a key play call. There's always a handful of things that Lincoln Riley does during the course of a game that seem to defy or not quantify the analytics. When you look at SC, let's just talk offense here for a second. For as good as they are analytically, what holds them back in your opinion? Or are they held back?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think what you have statistically is one of the best in the country. They're number one overall in my offense numbers, my opponent adjusted numbers. But yeah, you're right. Within games, that does change a little bit. I think against Notre Dame, sometimes some of their play calls got a little too cute. They tried this trick play, wide receiver reverse pass, and the receiver fumbled the ball. And it's not the receiver's fault. I bet they practiced it a few times. I think in the key moments, you want your quarterback making the throw, making the read. They have a good one with Jaden Maiava. So yeah, play calls like that. There was a 4th and 1 against Notre Dame where you're thinking maybe they just push forward either a fullback or a quarterback sneak. They go roll out, and it just did not work at all. Notre Dame snuffed it out. So yeah, just like their stat profile looks incredible, but in key moments in games, sometimes they come up short. Another thing, too, I've noticed is they have trouble salting away the clock. If they're up in the 4th quarter by a score or two, I don't know what it is. They're just not either trained that way or it's not his philosophy. Like, they don't run the clock down. They just keep their offense going. That extends games, and that extends the variability that they could blow a lead. So, and then situationally, when Lincoln Riley is the favorite, he does struggle here, especially on the road. When they're the road favorite, that's a poor number for them. And I think they're like 3-10 or something on the road against the spread. It's a really poor number. So those are the kind of weaknesses you can get. When you get them out of LA, they turn into a different team.
Let me flip-flop that. And defense is almost just the opposite. Boomer bust, kind of feast or famine. They don't like to line up and hunker down. They move. They use a lot of athleticism. What does that say about big plays versus not big plays versus sustained drives when you look at how SC likes to play defense?
Yeah, there's 2 numbers that stand out to me. It's how aggressive they are in blitzes and blitz packages. I have a negative play rate, which shows how often the team is making plays at or behind the line of scrimmage. Sacks, tackles for loss, the aggressive play calling. They're top 10 in that number. Means they're going after. They're sending guys in blitzes a lot, but also they're bottom 10 in explosive plays allowed. So that's the risk reward of it. You're bringing extra heat with blitzes and a lot of pressure. You're more exposed for the deep ball or long plays down the field. So they're a very high risk reward, a big gamble defense. So that's going to test that Nebraska offensive line. I think they're a little banged up and down a starter or two. So they're going to bring blitz packages, and they need to hold their water long enough to strike and get those explosive plays. But statistically looking at it, it's definitely all offense with USC. They're going to want to win a shootout. Their defensive numbers fall off. They're below average in almost everything. I thought that would be a big gain this year, second year under Danton Lynn, the coordinator who came over from UCLA, and they have not progressed as much as I'd have thought. But it's all offense, really, and they take some shots and try and get turnovers and sacks. So if you can hold up your offensive line long enough, you can beat them.
Brett, have you done much thinking or research into why USC seems to struggle so badly on the road? Like, is it as simple as the travel? Is it a weather thing? Is it like
it's a temperament?
Like what is it that you've seen, or like is there anything analytically that tends to back that up?
Or good opponents, right? How often do they go on the road as underdogs?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because you look at their road games this year. I mean, at Notre Dame, I think everybody would struggle at Notre Dame.
Sure.
At Illinois, that was a punchy team early there in September. Yeah, I don't know exactly. I couldn't quantify it. I'm sure if Lincoln Riley could too, he'd have fixed it by now. It's really a problem for them. I don't know. Maybe some offensive styles don't travel as well into some cold weather, into some frigid temperatures, some high wind. I know Nebraska, Iowa, these stadiums are always swirling winds. That might be harder to throw the ball all over the yard when you got 35-mile-an-hour winds in your face. So I don't know if it's weather or if it's these Big Ten locations. It is some tougher teams they're traveling to Damon's point. I don't know. I'm not sure what the exact diagnosis is, but it's definitely a different team. But yeah, I think you're seeing somewhat of a playoff elimination game. If you look at it on a national scale or a Big Ten scale, they're both sitting there with 2 losses. To make the playoff or the playoff discussion, you got to be perfect from here on out. So, you talk about the expanded playoff. The playoff's starting now for a lot of these teams in November.
All right, let's talk about stock up, stock down. I'm going to give you a handful of teams that have enhanced their profile for the postseason. BYU, Iowa, Texas A&M. Stock up, stock down. Trend those 3 teams for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they're three of the hottest teams in the country. First with A&M, I think they're really out of those three teams, that's your national playoff contender, your championship level contender. I think they can go the distance. They have a really strong offense and a defense. Marcel Reed is rounding into form as one of the best quarterbacks in the country. You got to love those receivers too with Craver and Concepcion. They can really change games. Big offensive line. So I think they have the makings of a real national title contender. I think your other two are not quite national title contenders, but they're certainly gunning for playoff spots. With BYU, they might have the edge over Iowa right now in resume, just in that win-loss column, just coming in 8-0. That means they still have a mulligan or maybe two to play with here. They have a game coming up. They're on bye now, but next November 8th, they're heading to Lubbock, Texas to play Texas Tech, a game I'll actually be at. I'm heading out to West Texas for this one. Could be a huge national game. But anyway, I think BYU would be ahead of Iowa. With Iowa, though, this is a team that a lot of the country is sleeping on. I think that when they took their two early losses, they were just put on the back burner and forgot about. But you look at not many teams have had such a strong 3-game stretch. They destroyed Wisconsin, destroyed Minnesota, two rivals of theirs, that by a combined 88-3. And then they beat Penn State, which I know had fired Franklin. That's still a talented ball club. So a great 3-game stretch. They're in my top 10 hottest teams right now. If you look at just the last couple of games, that's one of my numbers I look at. So yeah, three, they're heating up, all three of them.
So Brett, what do you do with teams like Alabama or Texas where they struggle against teams like Mississippi State and South Carolina respectively, but they still get the wins? Like, obviously Alabama and Texas are in different points of their season, but what do you do with them in terms of how you view their stock when, yes, at the end of the day, you get the win, but very easily could have lost either of those games?
Yeah, I think it's two categories here. You're looking at a playoff resume, what you have done so far, or are you looking at the forward-looking, the predictive model, the power ratings and projecting forward? With Alabama, I think their resume to what they've done so far here, late October, early November, could be the best resume in the country. 4 ranked wins in a row. That's unheard of. That's an SEC record. So I think what they've done to this point is really impressive. But then looking forward for Alabama, they're not my top 5 of game grader. I think they have some flaws. They want to clean up that rushing defense a little bit. So I don't know that they're a top 5 team in the country going forward, predictive and power ratings wise. With Texas, they have a lot of problems. I mean, their passing offense has not developed. I thought it was turning a corner against Oklahoma, against a really strong Venables defense. Arch Manning made some nice throws, but they've had some close games since then. At Kentucky, at Mississippi State, both by a score, both really survival games. They needed special teams and punt returns to survive. Those are the 2 worst teams in the conference. So they have some problems with Georgia and A&M coming up down the stretch, and Vanderbilt this week. Don't overlook Vandy. So I think Texas has a lot of issues. They're out of my playoff bracket for now.
Brett, I'm not good enough to do this for a living, but I did have not just ATS, but outside losing, Texas going to Stark Vegas and Bama going to South Carolina. I didn't get either one of those outright wins, but what's the model say going forward for Alabama, given kind of what the rest of college football is doing? I got your feel on Texas. They're out. How much do your models like Bama?
Yeah, well, first off, your 2 picks last week, you were pretty dang close. I mean, I almost have to give you a partial win there. I mean, Alabama was tied 22-22 with a minute left. You had that one close. And then the Texas game, 17-point rally in the fourth quarter, kind of a miracle survival for them. So
unbelievable.
You were right on the ball with both of them. I'm glad you at least got the ATS part of it. But with Alabama going forward, I'll say this: a couple of their games down the stretch have gotten easier on paper. LSU coming into the season, that was supposed to be a potential loss for Alabama, really a toss-up type game with the firing happening and LSU just being downgraded on both sides of the ball. I've got Alabama favored by 2 touchdowns there on November 8th, the LSU game. Next up, they get Oklahoma. I have Alabama favored by a touchdown there. It's in Tuscaloosa. They really perform well there under Kalen DeBoer. So I think those are both wins. They get their FCS week off on November 22nd, and then they go against Auburn, a team that is nearly about to fire Hugh Freeze. So 3 of these November games looked tougher back in August in the preview magazine. They're looking easier now. I've got them favored in all 3. So I have Alabama going 11-1, and that would be good for an 8-0 SEC mark and a spot in Atlanta to likely play Texas A&M. That's who I've got right now playing in Atlanta.
It doesn't appear that Vegas has caught up with Vanderbilt. Have your models caught up with Vanderbilt?
I don't think so, no. And, I've got them 18th in the country per my game grader. And I think if you look at the AP and the coaches, I think they're top 10. And they're really strong against the spread, checking in 6-2 against the spread. So you're right. Vegas has not caught up. I don't think I have either. Like here, I've got Texas favored by a touchdown Saturday. I don't know that I'd favor them a touchdown over many teams in the country right now, especially a red hot Vanderbilt. So it's one of these teams where the model goes against what you're watching on TV, and it's hard to catch up when there's such a, because they're behind in the recruiting game, their 3-year trend, a lot of the off the field stuff that you try and factor in to get a glimpse of a team, they're behind on all that. So we're trying to catch up with Vanderbilt. They're impressing everybody so far. And, it's not just Diego Pavia. We hear a lot about him, and he's a solid player. He creates in the pocket. He extends plays. But that defense limiting Missouri to 10 points, that's one of the best defensive performances of the week.
I got it. Prabula got hurt, but Pavia was, for his standards in a big game, was pretty pedestrian.
Yeah, so, that's why I think about it's more of a team effort with Vanderbilt. And that was early in the season, it looked like it was going to be an all-offense kind of team, but the defense has really stepped up. It's really veteran. I remember back in the preview magazine I was writing, it felt like an old-fashioned preview where instead of all these crazy transfer portal in and out, it was really just, hey, 18 starters are back. It's Vanderbilt. It's a veteran team this year, a lot of seniors. It felt like I was writing in 2010. It was a nice, refreshing thing there. But, yeah, they're veteran, and they're going at Texas. Then they draw Auburn and Kentucky, two of the teams towards the bottom of the conference. I wonder if a 10-2 Vanderbilt makes the bracket. That LSU win is starting to lose some luster, and same with the South Carolina win from September. They're no longer obviously ranked. So, yeah, we'll see about Vanderbilt. It's impressive that they're even in the mix at this point. Right. That's a heck of a coaching job by Clark Lee.
Can you overlook or because Clark Lee's name is going to come up for jobs, how critical is it that we remember fit and not resume, especially when you look at recruiting and what it takes if you're going to elevate in terms of positionally? Do we need to be careful with a guy like Clark Lee that Vanderbilt is a good fit, or does the model tell you something different?
Well, with coaching searches, a lot of times you can't even look at a model. This is really the personal side of the game where, the one thing that it's hard to account for is an alma mater situation. And with Clark Lee, he's a Vandy guy through and through. He played there. He took over his alma mater. And similar case with Kenny Dillingham. I see his name coming up a lot on some lists, but that's an Arizona State guy, a lifer from Arizona, from the Valley. And I don't know. I mean, with all the big money going around in college football now, I wonder if some of these guys will just hunker down and stay at their alma maters, use it as leverage, say, hey, I'm getting these huge offers. How about the NIL department? They can maybe match or give me some of that back, and I can go build a roster with that money. I don't need to inflate the salary, but give us more of a pool to play with coaching. Support staff salaries and recruiting salaries, transfer salaries, kind of the Lane Kiffin model, because a couple years back, he was getting a ton of offers from the big money SEC teams. He hunkered down at Ole Miss, used that extra money, I guess leveraged it to sign some of the best transfers in the country. So with a Clark Lee, a Kenny Dillingham, these alma mater guys, I wonder if they just stay longer at their school and just continue to build.
Who should be a little more cognizant of the situation there? And when they get courted, is it Elko, whose name's obviously going to come up? He's got a great offensive coordinator, but he's a Northeastern guy. Or a guy like Fish, who they're really good at home at Washington, not very good on the road, is clearly going to probably grab some suitors. Who needs to be more cognizant about the grass not always being greener?
Well, I think with Mike Elko's situation, I know that A&M has struggled to meet expectations for quite some time. But if you look at resources, if you look at the conference they're in, the geography, the location that they're based in, the recruiting base that they have right there in state, I think Texas A&M is really a program. If you're trying to build a dynasty or a national champion contender,
he's defying history.
Yeah. I think it can be done at A&M. I think you can build a serious powerhouse there. They have the money and everything behind it there to do it. Now nobody has, but I think that's possible. With Washington, I think that they might be a notch below that in terms of if you're hitting your program ceiling. I don't know that their ceiling can match an A&M ceiling. So I don't know these guys' personal goals and all that. Like I said, that's kind of off the model and off the stat sheet. But I think Elko can build a national champion at A&M. I don't know the same at Washington with Jed Fish. So if he has national champion and kind of a dynasty aspirations, I think he might want to look elsewhere. But he's got a nice thing there too. He just got there. I want to see them, both these guys, continue to build into the third and fourth seasons. I like these guys a lot, both of them.
Are you surprised, or is it confirmed that Manny Diaz gets a lot of buzz?
I think he deserves it. I think that, the one thing with him you're getting is an aggressive defense, a successful defense, no matter who he has. He built it at Miami. And of course, you have a higher caliber of athlete there than you're going to get recruiting wise at Duke. But go to Duke, and he's done it there too. I think he's got them playing above their expectation. Really impressive with what they've done. I know you look at their record, it doesn't look that impressive, but I like what he's done at Duke. And he also had a successful season at Penn State as the coordinator. So he's got connections all over the place. I think he'd be a good candidate, and I think that he should be in some of these discussions.
So, Brett, you're talking about A&M, and I'm like, hey, that sounds an awful lot like a job that's open right now in LSU, except almost everybody that has had that job has won a national title recently, with the exception of Brian Kelly. I think I would make the argument not just of open jobs. Like, would you make the argument, or would you fight me on the argument that LSU is the best job in the country, full stop?
Wow, that's a tough one. I mean, I don't know. Best overall, I don't even know how to quantify that. I hear that topic come up a lot. In terms of national titles, they've had some successful guys do it. What I do like about LSU is that they're the only team in town. There's no in-state rival to be poaching in-state recruits. They kind of like Nebraska. They get to really dominate their in-state recruiting. And Louisiana, if you look at, I know they're a little bit smaller population-wise, but if you look at it per capita, the number of 5-star and 4-star guys that state is churning out, they're number one in terms of the proportion of players that are highly rated. So they can really lock down a great recruiting class and just stay within their state borders. That goes a long way. So, that's certainly a top job. I mean, look at how many different coaches have won there. I don't know how to rank it, guys. That's so hard. I see these rankings come out. I don't even know what it means. What's the best job? I guess the best is who's paying the best, but I guess access to resources and recruiting paths, all that. LSU's got it all.
I would argue that the best job is the job that's expectations meets their achievability.
Yeah,
the closest, right?
Yeah.
And I would argue for as good of a job as
maybe it's Florida then.
I don't know. Does LSU have crazy expectations? They gave Brian Kelly a reasonably long leash, and he was never anything but okay there.
What'd they give Ogeron?
5 years. It was two bad years after the title.
What's more reasonable, BC? Is it Florida or LSU, where expectation levels meets past performance?
Well, I think the expectation for Brian Kelly, I don't even think it was national title or bust. I think that was the case with Penn State this year. They were all in. They needed to basically make the national title or win it. With LSU, I just think it was make a playoff. I agree. I think they were somewhat realistic, and they put a lot of money behind it. That's the thing. They signed the number one paid coordinator in college football history, Blake Baker, and they signed the number one transfer haul in America. You know how expensive these transfers are. So they put all their resources behind it. I think that the bare minimum was, hey, you got to go make the 12-team bracket. We're not even talking BCS or 4-teamer. You got to make.
He might not be hireable. He may not get another big-time job at 64. Kind of with all the reports about his personality and cantanker, like I don't know. Kelly may be in trouble for a multi-coach of the year guy.
Yeah, I did hear Boston College reference. I think that's just a location thing because he's from the Northeast and coached at a similar type of school with Notre Dame. But yeah, you're right. I do kind of find it funny. We don't hear these personal stories until the guy is fired. You hear this all over the place. Like, what were they just hiding these in their closet, in their drawer? And then once the guy's fired, like, here's 10 stories of the guy. I don't know what's going on.
I hate it too.
That's not totally true with Brian Kelly, because I remember stories from his ex-players at Cincinnati when he left. That guy's been unlikable for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I never have met or talked to him, but just from watching him on TV and seeing the way he carries himself in post-game interviews and press conferences, yeah, I don't know. I'm not the biggest Brian Kelly fan, but yeah, now you see all the stories come out. It's interesting.
If you're gonna pick a team from off the grid, and they need things to break right, you going with Virginia or Michigan?
Ooh. I'll say Michigan. I mean, they control their destiny right now. They can win out, and I know that entails beating Ohio State, which is going to be a huge undertaking. They've had their number recently. So I think Michigan might be the conference's, the Big Ten's best bet at a fourth playoff team. Now, it requires them going perfect in November. It's going to be tough. With UVA, I just don't see it. I know they're sitting there 7-1. I think with the ACC, you have less of a mulligan card in the playoff. You almost have to go perfect, too, over there. And my numbers have them projected as an underdog against Duke and a slight favorite here against Cal and Wake Forest. So I think they're going to take a loss or two. So I think your best bet at an outsider playoff would be Michigan. They have the run game figured out. Their front seven is nasty. Now you want to see some development from the pass game. That'll come as a true freshman, but they at least control their path. I think that if they win out, they're in.
So there was a team we were talking about earlier, Vanderbilt. Their head coach is an alum. Your models don't know what to do with them. High academic school, and got a little bit of gold in their color scheme. That also applies to Georgia Tech in every single way. Have the models caught up with the Yellow Jackets yet?
Yeah, same deal. They have the dual threat quarterback, the big offensive line. They have the alum as their head coach. There's a lot of parallels here. Brent Key, Georgia Tech guy.
It comes up a ton.
I was going to say, with Brent Key, is he another one of those guys you're like, maybe he just sticks it out there?
Same deal. I mean, he's done a phenomenal job. You got to think back to what he inherited. He inherited the Jeff Collins experience, and partially wasn't Jeff Collins' fault. What they did, they were moving on from the flexbone and triple option, and that's so hard. It takes several years to rebuild, redo a roster like that, and Collins took the brunt of it. But Brent Key took over midseason a couple years back. He's played really well, or got them playing really well, I should say. And offensive line, year in and year out, top 10 in my metrics, both the O-line run push and the pass protection. So that's the type of team I trust. They have the big O-line. They have Haynes King, a veteran guy. Their play actions, I don't know if you watch their highlights of their games. When they do play action, it's so wide open because these teams are so worried about stopping King on the ground. It is fun to watch. So I like them down the stretch. I've got them favored the rest of the way until their non-conference with Georgia. Now, this year it's a neutral site. It's at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. About a touchdown spread right now. I've got Georgia Bulldogs favored over Tech. But still, if they take that loss, they could win their ACC title game and get the auto bid. So this week, first time of the season, I've got them into my playoff projection there on Pick 6 Plus.
Yeah, it's interesting when you watch them play because you can't really play with a free safety because you have to account for the quarterback. And then it's just about winning one-on-ones. You sell that good run action, and it's like, I get it. Defensive coordinators are probably saying, we just need our guys to make a play. And Georgia Tech on offense is like, yeah, that's the whole point. Right?
Yeah, Brent Key, he calls it 31 flavors of counter. It's like Baskin Robbins, but counter misdirection. They run counter so well. And then Haynes King, when he fakes that pitch and goes up the middle, it's like a train coming down the track. So they are impressive, and they don't make mistakes. So that's the kind of team that could be scary.
So when you're kind of looking at this, I want to go to like Oregon and Iowa. Do you feel better or worse than the conversation you and I had about Oregon 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you have to say worse. I mean, just coming off the Wisconsin game, it was an ugly game. They lost their quarterback for part of it. It was downpours. I know these sound like excuses.
They're kind of ugly, though.
Yeah.
When they got into the meat of the schedule, they slowed down. Maybe this is just who they are, though.
Yeah, I mean, so the deal with Oregon coming into the season in the preview magazine, doing the research, it was a young team. This was, I wrote in there that they were my 2026 national champions. I thought they were young, that they would grow this year, maybe make a late playoff push this year, but really round into form in 26. And they came out of the gates so hot that maybe we moved that up a year, thinking they could contend this year. I think they might take another loss down the stretch. I think USC and Washington are both really great offenses, maybe not so much defense. Iowa, the flip side of that, one of the best defenses in the country. Phil Parker's got again. Their run game has been strong. Gronowski's running the ball, not making mistakes. Their special
offensive linemen that are in first-round draft picks, they're pretty good.
Yeah, elite offensive line. The return game with Weegan is incredible. They make turnovers. They convert their turnovers into points. So, yeah, they have 3 really tough games coming in November. I could see them dropping one, and you wonder what a committee does with a 10-2 Oregon sitting there with, Penn State was supposed to be their marquee win. That's now no longer a team with a winning record. Their best win will probably be Iowa or USC if they were able to win either of those. So Interesting with them. But yeah, I think they're, they look a lot different than we thought in September.
That's our guy, Brett Ciancia, Pick Six Previews. Brett, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, B.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Good luck, Huskers Saturday.
Appreciate it. That is Brett Ciancia from Pick Six Previews. Good stuff there as always.
That's dicey.
Which part?
If you had to pick today to make a blip on the national radar from where they are right now, Virginia or Michigan?
This year?
Yeah.
Michigan.
Seems to be the consensus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't either. I feel like
Virginia's 7-1 in the ACC. Do they feel like the 16th, 17th ranked team in the country?
They do not.
Yeah.
I look at the ACC. It's really, really strange, right? Because I still think Miami's the best team in that conference.
You don't trust them, though.
I don't at all. And a lot of that's Cristobal. Obviously, Louisville's really good because we saw them beat Miami, and they've only got one loss on the season. Georgia Tech's undefeated, and nobody wants to think they're good at football. And then you've got Virginia, who's only got one loss, and nobody really wants to think they're good at football. I don't know what to do with the ACC at all. I have no idea.
They're in more control than
Virginia,
than Michigan is.
Yeah, they are.
But we like the brand of Michigan better.
100%. And that might just be what I'm doing, is that I like the brand of Michigan better.
Just a thought exercise.
I also, I don't know. I'm having trouble with what I've seen, what I think mediocre teams do to Virginia in terms of like score a lot of points.
It's super hard to win.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it? So I'm glad we get like the analytics numbers, guys, because when I say it yesterday or, on a Monday, it just seems like, oh, that's just DB being DB. But when I tell you something is disjointed, and it started with kind of Sam's sentiment talking about SC. We think it's like this daunting thing. We think SC and we look at the numbers and it's like, ooh. And then I'm like, well, you have to actually watch them.
Yeah, I think their skill position players scare us. I think that's what it is. Like but
stylistically,
I don't think
I'm not trying to convince you either way. What I'm telling you is stylistically ask yourself what kinds of teams do you think will give Nebraska fits?
I mean, the teams that have. Look at the teams that have given Nebraska fits. The Minnesotas, the Northwesterns, kind of that slow it down, grind it out, want to fight you in a phone booth type football game.
Now, SC can run the football.
They can.
Don't get it twisted. They can run the football.
But it is a different type of.
It is a different type of run.
Yeah.
And
defensively, they don't want to. Fight
Raiola
you.
has more pass attempts than Maava. There's no way you would have said that going into 2025.
USC doesn't.
And I think it's by like 30.
Yeah.
Now, the bye helps. Nebraska's only had the one. So maybe you skew it, but my point is.
Call it even, basically. Probably wouldn't have seen that coming.
No.
Right?
Nope.
I also think there is something.
You just have to get it. You have to really pay it. This is where it always matters, but like coaching matters and self-awareness. How does Nebraska want to play and who do they want to be to win this game, to win this game against SC?
I also think there is something to the fact that USC doesn't hate you.
Did you see all the tweets coming out about how cold it's going to be? Oh, it's like mid-30s at kick. You'll be good.
That's exactly what Coach Rule wants, by the way, for this SC team to come to.
He's praying for winds and rain.
Yeah,
and
for this
else.
SC team to come to Lincoln. He's been talking about this all year. He's like, oh, I'm glad they're coming in November. Hope it's cold.
Yeah.
Hope it's snowing. Hope it's whatever.
I tweeted out a couple of deals from like USC Psycho and some of these guys. It's like, ooh, 35. It's cold. I'm like, no, it's not.
No, that's not cold yet.
Not for November 1.
Nah, we're not cold yet. It's cold for USC, though. It's cold for LA. 35 is cold for LA.
Listen, freeze your nuts off for all I care. Be cold. Burr.
They were super excited last night that the game tonight's gonna be hot for it.
What game?
The Dodgers game.
Well, that's in L.A.
That's what I'm saying.
Ding-a-ling.
That's what I'm saying. They're super excited for it to be hot.
Yeah, if it was played in Omaha, it would not be warm.
It would
Or
not be
Lincoln.
warm.
Let's take a quick
They
break.
still have the tarp down if it was in Omaha.
Well, you got to have the tarp down. Otherwise you're going to run into issues.
I'm not really vibing with either one of you right now.
What I do?
Just you guys being you right now.
We were talking about our friends and our different compounds over at Next Gen Male
PVC
Medical.
157.
Yeah, it's called Body Protecting Compound. Did you know that?
I after you told me, because you're a walking lab rat.
It says you'll try anything.
I'll try it. Doesn't mean I know what it is.
That's worse.
I do what I'm told.
That's true. Our guy over at Next Gen Male Medical, Nick, he takes great care of you as well. Give him a call, 402-614-9700. See what they recommend for you. Then you don't have to be a weirdo like me and research everything, because they've got you covered. They'll tell you what'll get you feeling right. It's Next Gen Male Medical. More Hurrdat Sports Live coming next.
Fearless savings this October at Edwards Chevrolet with 0 down sign and drive deals waiting for you. Get $12,000 off MSRP on the 2025 Chevrolet Silverado 1 LT Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, or lease for $555 a month with 0 down, strength and upfront savings. Or drive the 2025 Chevrolet Trax front-wheel drive LS, lease starting at $299 a month. Sign and drive with 0 down, smart design and modern tech that fits your lifestyle. Don't wait. Fearless October savings are happening now at Edwards Chevrolet.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's kind of crazy that that's what it is going at a half, and we're in the same position, exactly everything. We get the ball out the half, and I think we just came in with a different type of energy, and we knew that in this life, in this game of football, you don't get do-overs. And I mean, it was Cinderella written to be either make our season or break our season, and our guys just accepted the challenge and went right after it. Yeah, I'm like, dang, because we felt good about our script coming out of half, but I mean, that's the best opening script you could ask for, is my guy taking it back. So, I mean, that kid's story is insane. I would encourage everyone to go dig deep and learn about him, because that's a special kid. He came from nothing in Detroit, and he came here and he's making a name for himself, and I think he'll probably have his name being called by our Husker fans every time he gets the ball, returning. So I'm proud of him.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Los Angeles. Damon sends a fly ball to center field. Marshall's going back before the clock strikes midnight. Damon has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word on a Game 3 classic.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla, reminding you we're in the last couple days of Cybersecurity Awareness Month. That means you've got to be aware of different people trying to get your information through fraud and scams, whether it's phone calls, texts, emails, even social media. Scammers are always trying to get after your information. Centris Federal Credit Union is here to help educate you on the best ways to protect yourself and your accounts. Learn more on their website, centrisfcu.org, federally insured by NCUA. DB.
Yo.
I wanted to ask a couple questions here.
No.
We're talking about coaches.
Do I have to oblige?
You don't have to, but I'll just sit here talking to myself. That could be awkward, but whatever you want to do.
That wouldn't be out of the ordinary.
Sorry, I thought most of the time you were listening.
It just depends.
I'm gonna give you a few names.
Okay.
You tell me if they are still at their current school next year.
Okay, so just yes or no? Just rapid fire?
Yep.
Okay.
Or however you want to do. You can elaborate if you'd like.
Okay.
Lane Kiffin.
Yes.
Still at the same school next year. John Summerall.
No.
Marcus Freeman.
No.
Really? Okay.
Wait a second.
Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
I know.
Well, I'm just filling the dead air.
There's a lot of rumors and innuendo of people I trust. Okay, start over.
Okay.
With everybody.
Lane Kiffin.
Hang on.
Oh, sorry. Clear the mechanism.
This is just me.
Deep breath.
No preconceived notions. Okay, go.
Woosah.
Go.
Lane Kiffin.
Yes.
John Summerall.
No.
Marcus Freeman.
Yes.
Dabo Swinney.
No.
Fired or different job?
Different job.
I almost said Matt Rule just to be a jerk.
Matt Rule will be at Nebraska.
Dan Lanning.
So the guy bet me 100-1 at a speaking engagement.
That Rule would be here?
Yep.
Take that money.
Every day that he's Take your boy.
Dan Lanning.
Did you see the dude? Yes.
Okay, go ahead. His name is coming up in a lot of jobs. That's all I'm saying.
No. The dude yesterday that was like, you're in front of him every day. He's like, step up. Ask him if he's going to be at Penn State. No, you ask him. I know the answer. You email. Hey, listen, his email is public record. How do you know I haven't? Well, show me. Show me. Say, hey, Coach Rule, will you be at Nebraska next year? And then I'll do you a solid.
I feel like you already told us, so I don't.
Do you think people are like crazy?
Yes.
Okay. This dude says step up. Like, what are you talking about? I give you the goods every damn day.
I feel like you already.
I
told
feel
us.
like I do step up. Just ask me.
Also, yeah. Anyway, Jed Fish.
Ooh, toughie.
I know you like him. Pretty good at what he does.
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
Don't love it though.
Kenny Dillingham. What's the ceiling for Arizona State football?
No.
Because I think that's the question with Kenny Dillingham.
No.
Clark Lee.
See, Clark Lee is a guy that I almost know too much about.
Yeah.
Spent a ton of time there. I know his general manager. Been recruited by him.
I would say he recruited Caleb, didn't he?
That's Coach Jackson's guy.
Yeah.
There's
still a Rezac playing there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of connections to Vanderbilt.
I say no.
Vanderbilt's a really hard job.
I say no.
And
I don't. Pavia's not going to get his 38th year.
I would say eventually Pavia's going to have to stop playing college football.
Although the roster's pretty good.
It is.
And Lee's one of those guys. He's so measured, and he's a big methodology guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's got the one-liners, and it's all about the culture.
So while you're thinking about that,
yes, Clark Lee stays.
I always wonder about
Clark Lee stays.
About guys that are successful at jobs that are hard, because at a certain point, it's kind of been my concern with Matt Campbell over certain times. Same with Lance Leipold, where you go, hey, you can still be a really good coach, and the record may not reflect it.
So can I just say this about Matt Campbell?
Sure.
There's a handful of coaches that are significantly better than what their record says.
Matt Campbell's one of them.
Matt Campbell's one of them.
I 100% agree. I have been on the Matt Campbell train. And listen,
Matt Campbell is one of them.
I love that Nebraska ended up
that job comes with its own unique set of challenges.
Really hard job.
I think Matt Campbell's fantastic.
I love that Nebraska ended up with Matt Rule. But early on in that process, I was losing my mind trying to convince people that Matt Campbell would be an excellent hire. Dude. Because they're like, oh, a couple 7 and 6 years. I don't think you understand how good of a football coach that guy is.
He's really good.
He's unbelievable.
You'd like him,
he's unbelievable.
He's incredible.
Is Matt Campbell at Iowa State next year?
I say no.
You think he finally takes the job?
Temptation will be great. It depends on where everybody is, with their
ages in his family and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's really, really important to him.
It seems like one of the things that we don't consider with coaches that has a outsized impact on their decision.
Yeah.
Compared to all the things we do talk about.
You should have seen Viv, Leona, and Julie at team dinner last night with the food trucks and costumes. Stuff matters.
You should have seen Al Huss when he was trying to take that job in Illinois.
Damn.
Allegedly.
Chicken nuggets. The more you know.
I thought that was public knowledge. My bad. I thought he had said it at one point.
Maybe.
I hope so.
I need DeMarinis to confirm.
My bad.
Wow.
Brent Key. Another really hard job. I don't think as hard as Vanderbilt, but I think it's a hard job.
Haynes King out of eligibility?
I believe so, yes. He is a Georgia Tech guy through and through, though.
Yes.
He's pretty good what he does.
Man, he's yep. He is.
I like Brent Key.
Feel free to disagree.
No, I want your opinion. There's a lot of these I disagree with, but I'm curious where your head is at.
Well, we never agree anyway.
Well, yeah. So I just you can assume that I think the opposite. I think.
Wow.
Am I missing any? Am I missing any big ones?
Are you missing any big ones?
Guys that I think for sure are gone from their place next year. That maybe is a hot take. Dabo. I think Dabo's gone.
I think you're missing a couple.
Who?
Fickle.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking of guys that might get poached, not guys that are getting fired. I didn't think Fickle's gone. If they can find the money. Norvell's gone.
I don't think Dabo will get poached.
He may take another
he
job.
Will shop his services.
He may take another job. Poached is maybe not the right word. He may take, I don't know, man. I think there's some of these big schools that are national title desperate that they're like, hey, that guy's win a couple. Let's figure it out.
What do you think keeps Whittingham where he is?
He's Mormon, isn't he?
So you think that's it?
I mean, for the Utah guys, that there's generally a very strong connection there. I think he's like a very devout Mormon. I think that's important to him. If I might be mistaken, but I believe that. I mean, remember how long it took Bronco Mendenhall to leave?
Mm-hmm.
And he had lots of opportunities.
Yeah. Brief stay at Virginia.
Yeah, and then he had the health problems. Now he's back out in Utah.
Yeah.
I think Kyle Whittingham is Mormon.
There's another one you're missing.
Who's that? I mean, listen, I love Kyle Whittingham.
And he's a guy that fits where his record isn't what I think his
record's pretty good though.
Who?
Whittingham?
No, I know. No, I'm. So I.
Oh, you moved on to a
Matt
different
Campbell.
Guy. Oh, yeah.
I'm
okay.
moving on to a different
Sorry.
guy.
Okay, go ahead.
That I think you're missing.
Okay, who is it?
There's two.
Okay.
Fran Brown.
Okay.
Fran Brown will have suitors.
Yeah, their season has gone south a little, so that's why I left him off.
He's better than his record.
I understand. That's fine. but he's only got 2 years as a head coach,
and
this
he
year's
comes
kind of
with some things that fit with the current climate of college
recruiting, like incredible recruiter. He's got connections in the South from his time at Georgia. Like I get it. I get the Fran Brown case. I thought because like early on he was a name that was associated with Penn State some, and I don't know if Syracuse's record will prevent him from getting the interest in some jobs.
I think you're forgetting about Fran Brown, and I think you're forgetting about Mike Elko.
Ooh, do you think Mike Elko is at Texas A&M next year?
This is what I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Mike Elko's a good one.
Because I could tell the response from people before they even tell me, because I told you last week.
Mm-hmm.
Texas A&M is a job where on the outside you think you have all these advantages. You got 7 or 8 peds.
On paper, they do.
Ton of money, but it is very
super toxic.
Political.
One of the most toxic.
A lot of revolving doors.
And a lot of people that want their voice heard.
In that department. Yeah. That job is not for everybody. Elko could be thinking to himself, hey, you know what? Like, I've already exceeded expectations.
Mm-hmm.
This is really hard. I've kind of found a little bit of a niche. But the juice may not be worth the squeeze. We don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. We assume, this is what we say, because this is what we always say about A&M.
Mm-hmm.
They should be this, and they should be that, and this is what they do.
But
this is what they
never have been.
And it's never happened.
They never have been.
So you may just have a guy that is finally exceeding or able to function.
In the dysfunction.
Yeah. Doesn't mean it's good for him, though, either.
Or that he likes it.
I'm just saying,
right.
I think you have to think about that.
No, I think it's fair. That's why I asked the question yesterday about maybe Trev has taken some of the slings and arrows off him that other
that's
coaches.
Definitely something Trev would do.
It sounds like it from...
That's who he is, too.
Yeah.
Like,
and, yes.
Trev is quick to lob you the middle finger to hunker down.
Sure, yeah.
So...
It sounds plausible.
Right?
I think.
Yeah. I didn't mind when you went into the example. I didn't think you were nuts.
And I don't know. I don't know anything. But
Trev may be like, hey, you guys are paying me $3 million. You changed my buyout.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody says it's impending doom for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll protect you, Mike. What do I have to lose? I'm already rich.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty confident. Yeah,
I get another job. If
I got you.
Yeah,
he might do that. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you're Elko and you see that that's the guy that's taken, the shrapnel for you, and the people around him don't necessarily love him being there, maybe that's a reason to move on too.
Yeah, I don't think Elko is he's at A&M. You have everything you need. I don't.
That's why I think That's why I keep bringing up LSU. I think LSU is the best job in the country. I really do.
Who had you shaking? Oh, it was Sam. Yeah, you never recovered from the LSU coaching discussion yesterday.
No,
or Monday. Was that yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday, where he goes, I don't know if they'll accept Lane Kiffin's eccentricities. And it's like, you know who their coaches were, right?
Yeah.
Like, Brian Kelly's an a-hole. Ed Orgeron is Ed Orgeron. Les Miles is literally eating grass on the field. Like, what are we talking about?
All fair, you called Les Miles a glue eater. I'd never heard that before.
Like, it's like the kid in class that's a little weird. They're just like licking the glue stick.
But I ate glue, so I would pour it on my hand and I rub it around. Go ahead and say it. That's fine. I set myself up for that. I know what you want to say. You're an idiot. 1 to 10. Just gonna get all that out of the way. Go ahead.
No, I don't have.
No. Yeah, listen.
I really don't have.
No,
anything.
yes, I know what you. Go ahead, say it. I stand. What? Go ahead.
Not surprised.
Incredible.
Is that why you wash your hands all the time now? No, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, if you used to have glue all over your hands. I mean, doesn't it all go back to that?
Time out. Shut the heck up. Just for a second. Not surprised. Over the top. That's 1 to 12. You could have just said, hey, I get it, but not surprised. super pricky, 1 to 12. You, I was in elementary. This is a long time ago. This is 40 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, Shane, why are you being mean to our guy?
Oh no. There's not no.
Hey, I used to do the same thing, so we're cut from the same cloth.
Not surprised, huh?
You told me to say it. You told me to say
Can't you just say I could see that?
What's the difference? What's the difference in
Oh, okay. Okay. Lawrence Taylor, huh?
Hey, I'm on your side.
No, yeah, I can tell. pretty passive aggressive.
Shane, why are you being mean to our guy?
I'm not.
Again,
Knock it off.
Not gonna work.
Knock it off, Shane.
Not gonna work.
Be nice to DB.
Not gonna work. Nope.
Brian says that's worse than sniffing rubber cement. I did sniff a little rubber cement.
I mean,
back
you
in the
were
day.
something else. We're just going with Summer's Eve from here on out.
Are we?
That's you.
Are we? Was it like the Elmer's in the bottle, or was it like the glue stick?
Whatever, man. Do you know what it was? You don't care, but I'm going to tell you.
I am curious.
I like to see that it had the imprints, like fingerprints. So
So-
I would pour it on my
Yeah.
hand, and I would peel it off to see why the lines on the palms of my hands. were what
Everybody
they-
did that. I think it was the eating that got me.
Sometimes it was good.
Hey, back in the day,
we're
only,
done.
Did it depend on what you had for lunch? Like there's some residue on there, or what? Like,
back
I
in the day, only
what do you mean? Sometimes it was good.
back in the day, only the richer kids had the glue sticks.
Did the
The who?
The rich kids.
The Richard kids?
That's what I thought you said. I was like, you're talking about you and you, the Richard kids? Yeah.
Did have some glue sticks back in the day.
I know you did. Yeah, that would fit. Wow.
No, the fingerprint thing, I think everybody did that. It's the second part that you lost me a little bit.
Yeah. Well, be touching wet grass. Wow, this dude
Just
said,
don't eat it like Les. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. Shafe's coming up next. It might just be me and Shafe. I don't know. I don't know if DB's coming back or not. Don't forget, though, if he does come back, you can hang out with us on Friday for our live show here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We've got Omaha Steaks. That's probably the only reason DB will come back is because Omaha Steaks is bringing us some treats, and you can win a $200 gift prize valued at $200. Make sure you RSVP at hurrdatsportsbar.com. We'll see you on Friday.
The Drive Into Fall event is on at Edwards Ram and Jeep, Village Point, and Council Bluffs. Get $18,000 off MSRP on the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn 4x4 plus 3.9% APR for 72 months. Fearless fall savings with a massive inventory this October. Or upgrade to adventure with the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4. These starting at $299 a month with zero down. Big inventory, bigger savings. Hurry to Edwards Ram and Jeep, Village Point, and Council Bluffs.
Yeah, it was great. I think it was a good team win. Like, I mean, ups and downs. Like I said last week, it's a Big Ten football game, a lot of ups and downs in the football game. But we came out, one-score game. It was a good fight. Like I said every week, that we're going to fight to the end, and we are winners. So we come out and we won.
You weren't the only one with an interception today. Donovan won too. Just how excited are you for him?
Oh, Donovan, he's grown up right in front of my eyes. Like he was once like a little kid, little freshman that I've seen mature throughout the whole season, day by day, and it's actually showing on the field, and I'm super proud of him.
neighborhood, just down the street. With a wide variety of home equity products to help you create a relaxing oasis. So you can kick back and relax in comfort. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Went against Lincoln when he was in East Carolina and I was at Temple, and he was the OC and I was the head coach. Went against him at Oklahoma. Gone against him last year. Now, ultimate respect for him. I think he's a great guy. First of all, a brilliant offensive mind. You know, he's going to score no matter what. I mean, different kind of quarterbacks, drop back quarterbacks. You know, they had Jalen Hurts and he's running power read. I think the last year we played him, I think around 15 QB draws in the fourth quarter against us. Like, he's just going to find a way to score points. But also, I divide college coaches up into two categories. Guys, if I see them, at a bar or a restaurant and they don't see me, that I'd walk in and say hello to, and guys I just keep walking past. And Lincoln Riley's a guy I'd go sit down with. So I think he's an awesome guy and a great coach.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB, who is definitely still here. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, and we are joined now by Mike SCHAEFER of Husker 24/7. What's up, Shafe?
How are we doing here on a rainy Tuesday after a 47-hour Game 3 performance from the Dodgers? Damon, you perky? You got like some cups of coffee in you here?
I was fine until about 10 minutes ago.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Am I getting all right. I'll lay off the jokes.
Okay, let me just ask a question. Shut up. Shafe, would you consider yourself a fairly high-functioning regular person?
I mean, I think so, yes.
Okay. Have you ever...
The words high-functioning and regular are tough for me to square up with how I know I am, but I think outwardly that's presented that way.
It's all relative. Have you ever been interested or curious about what glue tastes like?
Maybe when I was like in elementary school or
something.
Okay,
so have you tasted glue?
To the best of my knowledge, no. I don't think that I have.
Experiment gone south. All right. Let me try at a different angle.
Look, do you think there's a flavor to glue?
Shave.
Only one way to find out.
Apparently, my radio partner has explained why I'm not normal because I ate glue as a child.
Well, so I'm
over
here and I'm like, okay, are we talking Elmer's? Like you were just like,
I asked that question.
Throwing a little Elmer's onto your crackers at at lunch, or
wrong guy to ask.
Like, were you getting the rubber cement out and checking on that too?
Is that funny, Shane? Shafe making you laugh?
He always does.
Yeah, I know. It's usually at my expense. I was in a very good mood, Shape, but it's fine.
He's almost come around on Shohei Ohtani. Almost. He's almost there.
Just Just tripling down, huh? Okay.
You're already mad at me. What's the difference?
That was an incredible game of baseball up until it was the 15th inning. And I was like, I'm just going to bed. I'm going to wake up. The Dodgers will have won. I don't need it. And I'm glad I did. There's no way I could have made it to 1:50 in the morning. There's just no way.
I love it because it gave me like NHL playoff vibes where I felt like, first of all, stop putting runners on second base and extras. Second of all, like some of the baseball things like relay throws.
Oh man, it was
or tags or just like the little intricacies were. I was.
Can I tell you a text I got from Brunts?
Yeah.
Because this isn't an on-air radio show. I think I can actually say this.
Yeah, you can say, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
So I asked Brunts if he was watching. This is at 10:50 last night. And he said he fell asleep for a bit, but the game was on and he woke up to it. And he's like, he must have went back and caught up on some stuff. This is the text. This game sounds like it was Tom Amansky's wet dream.
Big fundamentals guy. That's all he meant.
We talk about Tom Amansky and the back-to-back all the time.
I was going to say, Brunts has like a weird fascination with Tom Amansky.
This is definitely a thing that he and I have discussed many times in the past.
Big fundamentals guy.
He's tweeted out like the Fred McGriff pictures from the Tom Amansky videos. Like it's a thing.
And I'm not like a paper towels or old sock guy, but I am going to say like seeing Scherzer and Kershaw in high leverage situations with like three other Hall of Famers in Ohtani, Freeman, and Betts. Like I was all in on the moment, whether I was a Dodgers fan or not.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, the fact that I just like hate the Dodgers goes out the window, and I appreciate the baseball. You know, like that's what it is. I want you to take us inside the shell. Like, don't let us know how you actually feel about this. I'm going to ask you something, and I want you to be as honest with me as you possibly can.
Okay.
When Kershaw came into that game, did you pucker up just a little bit?
Yes.
Okay.
Super.
Because he looked like he didn't have it.
Listen,
I know he got out of that, and he got out of it because the guy swung at 2 ball fours. But he looks, for a guy who is an unquestioned Hall of Famer, maybe the best pitcher that I've watched in the last 15 years at least, just in terms of the longevity and what he's done. And I'd say maybe because maybe some other guys have a little bit more to them in other areas, but he's just the longevity is unquestioned. Probably best pitcher since Pedro. I'll phrase it that way for me.
He's certainly the best pitcher of modern era in baseball for double-digit years.
Sure,
right?
Yes. I would not dispute that. I had no confidence in him getting out of that situation. He looked like he had confidence in getting out of that situation. And when they pulled him after that one at bat, that told me everything I needed to know that he did not feel like he had it.
Should I do the reenactment?
There's no way. If that guy was getting fired, there is no way that guy is not coming out for the next inning.
Listen, Shafe, when he came in, I was like, ooh, yes. And I was like, oh, my God, like he hasn't shaved. He looks like he's 51.
He's haggard.
And then
he's haggard.
And then, no, I'm giving you I said this in the first segment. I go, oh, my God, that 12, that's not straight up. Hey, flip it with your glove. Flip it with your glove. Just get out of the inning. Flip it with your glove. Like, Shave, if I would have had on, I wear shorts. Ravi's childish, so I was going to say if I had pants on. But I had on shorts. But if I had on pants, like, I had to shaken my leg just to make sure I didn't have any dribble. Like, I seriously thought this dude was going to wet the bed.
And then it
was
would have
everything
been
I wanted. I wanted a high leverage. I want to see Kershaw. But you remember that talk we had? Like, you had me for like 50 minutes on the phone. I was grocery shopping that morning, and I was talking about Kershaw. And every time he takes the mound, I think he's going to break. Like, if the wind picks up or, he didn't have enough calcium shot, like, I just think he's going to snap. So I don't like seeing him like that. But it was juxtaposed to me wanting to see him one time opposite Scherzer in a high leverage situation.
So that's the last you see of him. You're cool.
Oh,
like you're good.
I'm good.
You got what you wanted.
That was the whole thing for me. Like, what if the last image of this guy is serving up like a back-breaking double to something named Nathan Lukes in an extra inning game in the World Series, and it's just playoff Kershaw is how you remember him.
I would have hated Luke's as much as I hate Carlos Beltran. Like, like 1-2.
Former Cleveland Guardian farmhand Nathan Lukes, by the way.
It's like I could see it now. I was seeing throw out at the plate, leave the building, Beltran, Kershaw. Like, it was all coming back to me. Not to quote a song from Meatloaf, but R.I.P. by the way. Yeah, Shafe, your boy was extremely nervous. I was terrified. It just did not look good. It started with the beard, though. If he had had like a Mike J beard, and it would have looked like sharp and like, it just looked like he woke up. Like it was like a Rip Van Winkle thing. I'm like, is he homeless? Like, where did he just come from?
No, but it was pretty late for a man of that age.
Okay. I don't need you doubling down anymore. I don't. We're going to struggle. Ravi and I are going to struggle to get through this, Shape. I hope we're going to be okay, but you may need to be on permanent standby.
I'm here.
Till brunch, you may be in a new line of work here shortly, depending on how this next 20 minutes goes. I want to talk Northwestern first before we get to USC, because we got off the schneid. I talked to you guys first. BC wasn't even around, so we got rid of that stigma at home. It was fine. Nebraska won anyway. At what point were you like, oh, shoot, welcome back fans in that game when you're watching it unfold? Because it was sleepy early for everybody in that stadium, didn't you think?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I do think the way the first drive unfolded, how Nebraska kind of looked in that, there was that third down run that Emmett Johnson had where I refer to it as he got small to get through the hole.
Yeah.
And I think people really kind of appreciated how they went down and scored. And then it just became kind of your vintage middle of the game Nebraska slog. It got loud again with Kenneth Williams on the touchdown. I've said this a couple times, that kick return where we get to sit up in the press box, like it was aesthetically gorgeous watching that thing be set up.
Let's watch everybody get knocked down.
Well, you knew how it was set up, that there was a chance for a massive play. It was going to depend on how he did along the sidelines. And if he could just, keep his feet up if people were diving at the ankles, and he did. So he finishes that off with a touchdown. So it gets loud again there. And then, it honestly, again, kind of quiets down because Northwestern was driving a little bit. And then you get to that whole fourth down situation. And then it gets loud because the fans are mad. And I think rightfully so, with what whole transpired there. And so, and then it got really quiet after the Dillon interception, loud again after the Buddha Wright interception, and then loud again on the final touchdown of the game. So it was a late arriving or not at all arriving in some sections of that crowd. Like, it was a sleepy day on Saturday. There's a lot that could have went wrong for Nebraska, but I do think that first drive was if they don't have the drive that they do there, it maybe takes them a long time to get into that game, because that drive, I think, at least got them on the board, gave them something to work off of. And they didn't really have an issue moving the football. They just continue to not finish at the rate that they need to. Like, they're just not finishing with enough points for how often they're getting into the opponent's 40-yard line.
Shafe, so by the sounds of that, seems like you appreciated, or at least thought it was effective, the offensive game plan on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't have any. They move the ball fine. Like, part of it is they're not getting off the field enough defensively, which allows teams to just keep the ball away from them. Like, we had people on our message board fighting over who was playing worse in the game in the first half, and it's like the offense had the ball at 2 times at that point. They put up 7 points, and they had an opportunity for a field goal that got missed. Like, there's very little more that the offense could have done in the first half of that game when the defense isn't able to get off the field, because they gave up 5 out of 7 third downs to start things off. So, some of it is Northwestern did a really nice job of just chunking it themselves, keeping Nebraska at bay. And if that game plays out a little bit differently, if Nebraska gets a couple stops early, there's a chance the Huskers have a much larger lead going into halftime than 1 point. But that's not how it played out. And so, they had to function with what they had. I thought the first drive of the game and the last drive of the game, if you're someone that's high on Nebraska's potential, that shows you the type of offense that they can be. They were effectively ran right through the teeth of that Northwestern defense early. And then the last drive of the game featured 4 third-down conversions to 4 different pass catchers, all of them valuable, all of them important, and Dylan Raiola in his element. It is notable to me that in the middle of the game, he can look skittish and off, but when the chips are down and he's got to go make plays, he shows up. He's done it multiple times now in the fourth quarter. I'd rather see that version of him also show up in the second and third. I agree to those that are upset by that. But I do think this is kind of the first time you've had a quarterback that clearly rises to the moment in the fourth quarter, and he's done it 3 times already this year. So I do appreciate that about him. I think there's a lot more good coming out of this game, certainly, than bad. And I think there's things that Nebraska can build upon. There's just things that they're not going to be good at, but that's every team in college football. It's how you mitigate that. It's how you work around it. It's how you emphasize what you are good at that ultimately is going to tell the story for the rest of this season.
Shafe, I ask you because I think you quantified it best over anybody that we've talked to in the last 20 years on the pushback and the consternation about running backs in Nebraska. And you had the great segment about history and what we're used to. And I just like the way you put it. I hadn't forgotten it since you had the segment. So I ask you, why, if we think EJ as in Emmett Johnson has become Nebraska's best offensive option, we're so reluctant to give Coach Barthel any outward credit for his development?
I think in part because EJ is one of those guys.
Which
where,
one?
Emmett Johnson
Okay.
is one of those guys where you kind of see that underdog story, and you see that this is a coaching staff where he's sort of had to come from behind a couple different times. You tend to give him more individual credit, and especially when there haven't been other running backs that have emerged as much. I know Dante Dowdell had a nice year for Nebraska last year. So I think it's some of that. I think a lot of it is the room as a whole has not stood out for people. So that is where Barthel is going to get knocked more than the individual performance of Emmett Johnson. Secondly, it's such a naked position, and I know that you understand this. It's hard to give EJ Barthel credit for Emmett Johnson getting small and getting through that hole. It's hard, because you don't know what he did and he probably had some effect to that, right?
Although, it's
because hard for a viewer at home to know that.
Yeah, EJ's Emmett Johnson is a much better runner in 2025 than he is 2024. Like I agree with that. I can see the toughness. I can see the gaining ground. Like that's intentional. And I think the thing that bugs me, and it doesn't bug me like make me mad. It's like even in a room as talented as some of our running backs' rooms were, Coach Solich gets a ton of credit, and rightfully so. So I think in the same vein, if you don't like the talent level in the room as much and a guy still is good, then the running back coach should get even more credit. But we're just very reluctant to say, hey, you know what? Dowdell left better than when we got him. EJ's a better player than when we last saw him. And we kind of just like, oh, shout out Emmett, as opposed to, man, I kind of like what they're doing in the practice room too, maybe in terms of development. That's kind of how I look at it on a personal level as a running back.
Yeah, I think if I certainly can understand that perspective. I think that for a fan base that has largely seen Nebraska underwhelm at that performance, it's going to take more than 8 games from Emmett Johnson this year to completely course correct that.
Yeah.
A lot of it too is just simply the fear of the unknown. What happens if Emmett's unavailable for a large stretch against USC? What does that do to Nebraska's offense? Then what do we think of EJ's coaching if Isaiah Mosey and Mekhi Nelson are unable to do what Emmett is able to do? And I don't think that they could or would, but so that becomes that sort of conversation. He's not attached to any one running back that he's brought in as a recruiter. So that's a conversation. There's the fact that Emmett Johnson, again, you had him on your roster. He played well for you in 2023, And then he ended up behind everybody else to start 2024. Like there's that element of it too. So I just think there's enough in here, and we just don't have enough time. I mean, the Frank Solich thing is you had what 20 some years of him being involved. So
and he's easily my favorite, right? Of anybody that was around. So
and so I think, you know, with that comes that element of time. And I also think like part of it too is that vintage Nebraska could go from running back number 1 to running back number 4 and still drive 75 yards and 80 yards in those days and score with ease. So, you know, it's kind of hard to divorce that from yourself, even if you know that it's a great offensive line and you have the option quarterbacks and all of that. So there's that element too. But I think people are reluctant to go in on it at this point in time. I think it's hard for us in the media. I think it's hard for the fan base to have singular positions on position coaches because it's hard to break one out without acknowledging the structure of the whole. Like,
we're pretty selective with that. Do you think? Well, no,
but
like, do we do that with D-line and O-line?
We are, but it doesn't mean that it's accurate. It doesn't mean that you can do it without having to acknowledge the other, but we choose to.
Yeah.
But we never, you know, and think about how the conversation is around here. When we're talking about Nebraska's secondary, how often do you hear people refer to Addison Williams instead of John Butler? It's really not that often. Addison Williams has become a quiet guy. No one talked about Rob Dvorak for 2 years as the linebackers coach under Tony White. So, you know, but we talked about Terrence Knight and every chance we got as a defensive line coach. So it's we're selective in how we do it. The media is selective in who they promote. Sometimes intentional, sometimes not. But I think it's hard when you get into individual specific conversations about position coaches because it has to be reflected in the whole too. I mean, what Dana Holgorsen is calling matters for your offensive line just as much as it matters for your running backs. And I don't think it's insignificant that Nebraska going under center on Saturday was helpful for this team as a whole.
Shafe, I'm glad you brought up kind of the way we isolate certain things in position groups from others, because it seems like even within a position group you mentioned there, we isolate one part of what they do versus the other part. And I don't know how you can give Emmett Johnson his credit for one of the best running back seasons we've seen at Nebraska for a while now, and also at the same time not give any credit at all to the offensive line, which has been much maligned this year. I get the pass pro and the run blocking are different things, but it is the same group. It is the same coach. Like, I think that's one of the bigger things I'm having a mental hurdle getting over, where people are quick to say, hey, we love Emmett Johnson, but hey, let's fire the offensive line coach.
Well, I mean, we were doing it in 2014 when we loved Amir Abdullah, and you know, how much of those conversations were, and you heard it from the analysts during the actual games. You heard it from the conversation, but you go back to that 2014 Miami game. Amir runs for like 225 yards or whatever, and you have Brock Hurd. Brock Heward. I don't. Who's Brock Hurd? Anyways, I think you have him basically. You have him saying on you know, on camera, basically like Amir Abdullah is doing this by himself, and then you're watching it and he's making all these moves, and you know, so some of it is Emmett, when you're watching him run, he's creating a lot of it. He's making guys miss. There's someone that's in the backfield right at the start of that play. He makes a miss and he picks up like 17 yards running out to the left. So I think some of it is just how we choose to view it. You know, like our perspective on Emmett Johnson is he's creating a lot of that isn't there. And I don't know that that's inaccurate either. When you look at the Maryland game and the Northwestern game, he's taking advantage of what is there.
Duo and press the point of it. Like, I get it.
I also think
that's smart because it is nuanced. And you have to appreciate the position for what it is differently than just looking at the totality of the results.
Think about
that's kind of what you're saying, right, Shafe?
Yeah. Well, and think about how we've talked about Emmett too, where it's like, yeah, I like what he does, but he misses holes. He's not missing as many holes this year. His vision looks like it's a little bit better. There's times where it's like, man, if he would have cut that left or if he would have cut that right. But you know, that's where the progress in his game seems to be, is that he also feels like he's more decisive. I don't know if you guys would agree with that or not.
That's coaching.
I think there's been a lot more like get the foot down and get forward this year. Whereas last year, it felt like he was kind of trying to pick his spot a little bit more. particularly on some of those inside runs. So I think that's areas where, Barthel very easily could have worked with him. Some people on the outside would look at it and just think, well, that's a natural progression of a guy now in his 4th season of college football who's played more football. I don't know how that works because I don't play running back. No one ever wanted to hand me the ball. I don't blame them.
Oh, yeah. When they wanted to get outs on the mound, they were like, let's give it to Mike J. Here.
Well, yeah, that's a different
shape ball.
Different ball, different sport.
My bad.
I will say I do think
high leverage. I think success, high leverage. Mike J. Regardless.
Look, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Better beard than Clayton Kershaw, though. You said it earlier. I was just repeating.
You did say it earlier.
Yeah, that's not.
Why would you, Mike J? We're not defending Ravi. No,
I'm just saying you did say it earlier. I'm defending my beard is what I'm defending.
It's like family. I can talk about him. You can't.
My bad. I won't
stick to Pedro and
I won't say anything about Pedro Guerrero
the fake bloody sock guy and all that other stuff.
Nah, he's out the fam.
He wants a managerial job. Enjoy that.
Shafe, I will say it seems like while I will say Emmett Johnson has created a lot of things with his own efforts, and this is anecdotal, it seems like most of that has happened a little bit further down the field. How much do you take of that versus like offensive line? And then, like, yes, there's some isolated incidents like the 3rd down run against Northwestern where you're like, oh man, that dude did it all by himself. But for the most part, I consider offensive line play in the run game like the first 4 to 6 yards. And then after that, good luck, it's on everybody else, whether it's the wide receivers blocking or the running back effort or whatever. I think most of the stuff we're seeing with him creating runs on his own is after that 4 to 6 yard part. Am I like anecdotally, is that crazy?
No, but anecdotally, it's also, do you have any confidence when it's 3rd and 1, Nebraska needs to get 1 yard and everybody knows they're going to run it?
That's the thing.
That's
the essence of the offensive line conversation right in the middle of it. When Nebraska needs 1 yard, do you have confidence that this group up front is going to move the people and go get it? Because it has looked so bad inside the deep red. It has looked so bad in short yardage situations that it's hard for people to divorce themselves. So when it's 1st and 10 and Emmett gets a great lane blocked up by this offensive line, you're probably not thinking about the offensive line so much as you're thinking about Emmett Johnson. You think about the offensive line when it's 3rd and short, when it's 4th and short, when it's the deep red zone. I mean, it's just how we train ourselves to watch football as much as anything else. I'm not disagreeing with your premise. I'm just saying that the easy counter to that is when Nebraska needs a yard and the defense knows Nebraska needs a yard, it is pulling teeth for them to get that yard. And it should be. It's football. It shouldn't be easy, right? But, man, they make every 3rd and 1 as difficult as possible. Some of that is just play calling and not having a power component as a running back.
I was going to say,
I think they're hurt by that too.
Does it also hurt when you decide to play 10 on 11 on short yardage situations by putting Dylan in the backfield?
I don't know, because I got a big kick out of watching him stand behind the official and he was waving the chains like he was the one calling that. That was great. He did it 2 straight times on Saturday afternoon.
He's just letting us know it's time to move the sticks. That's all.
I loved it. It's great. He is unintentionally hilarious in between plays in a way that I don't think he intends to be. But if you just sort of watch him in between plays and all the different stuff that goes on, he has like 5 different roles out there besides being Nebraska's quarterback. It's great.
And including head cheerleader. Mike J., let me ask you something. I kind of intimated this on Monday. We were talking to Sam, and it's, excuse me, 6.5-point underdogs. It seems a little kind of doomy and gloomy. We're not super confident. And I said to Sam and Ravi and some of these guys this morning, SC is an interesting team because you have to watch them. Statistically, you'd think they would be world beaters, especially on offense, yet their fan base doesn't feel that way, and they don't always play that way. What do you think the disconnect is between what we actually analyze in stats versus what we actually see transpire in games with USC?
Well,
or is there one?
I think you're bringing prior baggage with Lincoln Riley, so the expectation is it's going to be a high-flying attack that's incredibly efficient. I don't know that that's not true. I think people would be surprised at how well they run the football this year relative to what you think of with Lincoln Riley and those Oklahoma
they're run first.
And then the other thing is Jaden Maeva has made himself into a much more efficient quarterback than the version that Nebraska took on last November. But I don't know. Their outside passing game isn't as explosive as it has been in the past. I think Mekhi Lemon's incredible, and that's going to be a tough matchup for Nebraska. But yeah, they're not. This isn't like one of the better Lincoln Riley offenses Nebraska has taken on, but it's still a Lincoln Riley offense. It's still going to get, people to think about it in that sense, and they still put up points on teams. But when you watched them play Purdue, when they took on Illinois, and you called it on this space, the Tuesday before that game, you were all over Illinois, and I thought it was going to be USC. They have flaws. Like this is not a college football playoff team. I thought they had a chance to be. They are not. They're not good enough in some areas. I think Nebraska has to figure out how they can attack those. I think the biggest thing Nebraska has to do on Saturday is stay on the field. They have to continue to get first downs and just keep USC sort of at bay, and put pressure on them that way. Because, I don't know how comfortable USC would be playing in a game where they have limited possessions and everything sort of matters, because you're just one or two mistakes away of being on the wrong side of it. And so I am kind of fascinated how Nebraska handles this. If they slow things down, if they're able to just chunk it down the field that way, it's going to be a really fascinating matchup. I have a tough time. It's still Tuesday. I don't have to pick a winner yet. I think it's going to be USC, but I think Nebraska is going to hang in this game for a long time.
I appreciate the 29 minutes here too, Mike J. Let me ask you something real quick. Did you like the tenor? Surprised at the tenor? It was pretty, for as standard as a Matt Rule press conference could be. I thought yesterday was just, I don't know, it was pretty much standard groceries, right? You need milk, eggs, little meat and bread. Like,
I guess I appreciated it.
It's very football-y.
That's good, because the week before he allowed himself to be vulnerable, and the staff allowed themselves to be vulnerable, and it ran with their dissension amongst the staff, and they're not communicating and everything else. So at least we get to avoid that this week. It looked like a staff that looked like they communicated going into that Northwestern game. Just my opinion with how they played in it. But I thought it was just kind of back to what you would expect off of a win, like a business-like performance from them. Don't make too much of this game, even though it's really big internally over there. Don't make too much of the win against Northwestern, even though it was nice to get back on the winning side of things and go back to stacking days. I mean, that's who they're supposed to be as a program, and that's how, I thought that they addressed it. I thought really, if anything, the post-Minnesota recap was more of the departure from the norm. That was a detour from what I would expect. And some of that was, I felt like Matt Rule thought it was necessary to put it out there for the fan base to understand where he thought the team was coming out of that. And he told you they were going to be ready to play, and they came out ready to play, and they won the game against Northwestern.
That's our guy, Mike SCHAEFER, Husker 24/7. Shafe, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good one,
buddy.
That is Mike SCHAEFER, Husker 24/7. That was an interesting thought on the departure from football being the abnormal rather than the,
and people, it kind of bugs me a little, but I get it. Where if somebody has more information than everybody else, and I feel completely different about something than the norm, I can come across as a certain way, either defending or being crazy. There's one thing that I don't ever worry about with Coach Rule. That's inauthenticity.
Sure.
Yeah. He seems to get accused of whether he's authentic or not all the time. That's one thing I don't get. I think he tells you exactly what he's thinking. Now, whether we know what to do with it or not, that's something altogether different.
Yep.
But he's not pump faking you. He's not. Like, I don't worry about his authenticity at all. And I think he felt like his team needed to understand, as well as him and as well as his staff, we did not prepare the way that we needed to from an emotional standpoint. right? We're not making this about whether Minnesota beat us 5 times in a row or not. It's not that. That's what the fan base wanted to say. Well, how can you not take Minnesota seriously? You haven't done any. That's not what it's about. That's not how coaches think. That's not how players think. You can't always make it based on who your opponent is. What you should say is, how can you just not be fully dialed for a game given whatever game it is?
Sure.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because it fits along with, I say this every week about Big Ten opponent X. Stop looking at that. You need to attack SC the same as you do Michigan, the same as you do Michigan State from a standard standpoint. Fans here, how could you not be ready for – like, that's not the point.
Right.
It's not. And what you don't want when you say that, and we dumb it down to the lowest common thing like that, you don't want it opponent specific.
Right. That's the big thing, right?
Yeah, you don't want it opponent specific. But we
you want it to be you specific.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what
like
are we
at some point it
capable
has to be about your preparation. And then you see if that's good enough. Like I say that like for years. So I like the fact when he says, hey, we're going to prepare our brains out. We're going to play like heck. And we're going to see if that's good enough to win or not.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it should be.
100%.
That I would say that exact same thing. I said it before we got to the state champ. Like, we're going to lay it on the line, and we're going to see if that's good enough.
And you're okay with the result either way.
100%.
That's the key.
Doesn't mean I'm not competitive. It just means that that's how you have to approach life. Because when you base it on who it is or where you're at, like, it's too hard. The goalpost always moves.
You become a victim of your circumstances.
And you know how much I love that.
Yeah, nobody wants. That's really not how anybody should want to operate.
But that's how we critique it.
Yeah. My concern
which is weird. I don't like. I just don't get. Like, you don't want the team thinking how you cheer for them.
Absolutely. I'm like, I understand.
But you know what we'll hear now? Oh, so you're blaming the law? Nah, man. Like, I'm not talking about your comprehension. That sucks. It can be what it is. What I'm saying is, you don't want them thinking how you think.
Yeah. And listen, I'm okay that fans think differently than coaches.
100%. And that's why they're different roles.
Yeah, they should. They're different jobs or roles. Like, they should think differently. My concern coming out of Minnesota was that they thought the same way I did. I saw Minnesota. I go, I don't think that team's very good. It seemed like they saw Minnesota. I go, that team's not very good. It affected their preparation.
It's not.
That's the problem.
Not good enough to think that way.
That's the problem. And even if you are good enough to think that way, you still shouldn't. Right?
Well, when I said that happens to even good teams, everybody
you
earned the right. No, it doesn't make it right, though.
Yeah. I mean, if you're truly a good team, you never think that way. Right? Like, that's.
But then real life happens.
Sure.
Contrary to popular belief.
Real life does happen. What's going to happen? What's going to happen next? We're going to talk to Ryan Abraham. He is the owner.
Can we let him sleep in long enough, Liquid?
We did our best. That's all we got.
I think so.
Okay.
He is the owner and publisher of Inside Troy. We're going to talk a little USC football here on a Tuesday. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. Let's Hurrdat Sports Live.
The Drive into Fall event is on at Edwards Ram and Jeep, Village Point and Council Bluffs. Lease the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn for just $359 a month with 0 down. Fearless fall savings with a massive inventory this October. Or upgrade to Adventure with the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo, lease starting at $299 a month with 0 down. Big inventory, bigger savings. Hurry to Edwards Ram and Jeep, Village Point and Council Bluffs.
Well, going into this one, we were looking to, for great focus from our team all week, and I feel like we got that. We, talked about the importance of getting over the first win against a top 10 team, and we took the following day, the Sunday, off, and then got right back to work on Monday. And, had a good hard week of practice, starting with the film session where we had a lot of correcting and a lot of teaching. I thought we got off to a solid start tonight. I was not thrilled with how, we turned the ball over when the bench came in. I didn't think our running habits were where they needed to be. And then you allow a team to gain a little confidence, and anything can happen when that occurs. So, I thought end of the half was solid. I thought Braden Frager obviously gave us a great lift on the offensive end, but more than that, I thought he had good activity defensively. He was getting his hands on the ball and forcing some turnovers. I thought we did have active hands all game long, and we got to finish some of those. We got to go in there and grab them with two hands.
At Centros Federal Credit Union, we have the tools and resources to help our members fulfill their financial goals, with a focus on building a stronger community for the next generation of leaders. Centros Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
We just flat out didn't play good enough. I mean, we made some really good plays on all sides, but to have some of the missed opportunities on all sides. Obviously, we did not stop the run well enough defensively. Offensively, didn't run it good enough, and obviously missed some just golden opportunities. The kickoff return obviously was a huge play in the game after we had taken the lead and got the 2-point conversion and had a lot of momentum there in the stadium in the second half. And you just can't do that against a good football team.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centros Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Ryan Abraham, owner and publisher of Inside Troy. Ryan, how are we doing this morning? Ryan, we have you there?
Yeah, hello.
Oh, there we go. Good morning, buddy. Did we let you sleep in long enough?
Yeah, sleeping in, getting ready for a big one this weekend. A lot of travel, man. This whole Big Ten thing, big flights, big flights.
Well, speaking of the big flights, it has not been super kind to the men of Troy traveling, especially to the East in Big Ten conference play. How much of a concern is that this week, especially with the weather projected to be what it is, and how much of that is sort of just a narrative that's come along with playing some good teams on the road?
I don't think it's a narrative. I mean, I've been going on these trips too. It definitely takes something out of you, but just USC has, but USC hasn't played well on the road. Like, how do you explain a tough team like Michigan coming into the Coliseum and really handling their business, and then sort of looking like the same old when they go on the road? The prior game with Illinois, and then the game afterwards with Notre Dame. And I don't know what it is, but until I see them go on the road, I mean, beating Purdue, that was the first time, they've traveled, gone on a plane, multiple time zones, and won a game in the Big Ten. They won at UCLA last year, but you take a bus. I don't count that. So I would say, yeah, until they do it, I'm not sure what it is or why it would be, but these Lincoln Riley teams have not played well on the road.
Let me ask you something, Ryan, because to your point, this is funny for a Nebraska alum, played there, won there in the 90s. My dad was a huge OJ guy. I kind of grew up an SC guy, so I pay attention to SC a ton. And I look at the stats, I look at the data, I look at the analytics, and offensively, I mean, this is as good a team as there is in the country. I'll get to the defense in a second, but when you look at efficiency, drive rate, expected yards, how do I reconcile the data versus what I see the results be without it being a referendum on Lincoln Riley? Or is it a referendum on Lincoln Riley?
I mean, I think it's a great question. I think what we saw, and I think usually what you're getting from these Lincoln Riley teams, and the offenses have typically been elite, and then it's just really how far can the defense take them. And then last year was like this weirder anomaly where they bring in Danton Lynn, and the defense probably undermanned, but still looked better. It wasn't like relying on turnovers. It just felt like they were fundamentally sound, and they were getting better on that side of the ball. And the offense, with Miller Moss running the show, took a step back, and they weren't an elite type of offense. So we just hadn't seen that before. This year, they're back to like elite offensive status. Jade Mayava, I think he's the only quarterback in the country over 10 yards of completion. I mean, they're just they're moving the ball really well. They've only punted a handful of times. So it's just when you're never punting, like that something good is going on with your offense. But the defense we've seen take a big step back, even though they've got better, especially on the defensive line. And it's hard to kind of wrap your head around, like, can you have an elite offense and the defense comes with it? And it just seems like when the offense gets a little worse, it allows the defense to get better, but then the offense gets good again, and the defense just can't keep up. I'm not sure what exactly it is, but this season's feeling more like one of those general Lincoln Riley teams where the offense is really good and the defense isn't keeping up.
So let me ask you something. Listen, third and fourth running backs, and the concepts apparently are good, or the offensive line is, because it seems like a run-first team. Is that the way you feel comfortable with Lincoln Riley wanting to play?
No, I think he wants to run the ball for sure, but to me, this is still a passing team that sets up the run pretty well with the
percentages.
Yeah, I mean, they're running it more, and I think he's doing that. They weren't doing that last year. I think they were I think one of the only two teams in the country over 60% passing. I think.
And Woody Marks was pretty sweet.
Yeah, Woody Marks is great. And they really like Wayman Jordan and Eli Sanders. And unfortunately, both those guys get injured, in the Michigan game. And then, just didn't see them at all for Notre Dame. They really tried to run it, even though they had a walk-on King Miller. You saw that Notre Dame game. They just were getting stuffed. And Notre Dame said, hey, we're going to take the run away. And Lincoln Riley wasn't able to kind of get it going. But I thought he called a masterful game against Michigan. I think both sides complemented the other well, and they just weren't able to do it. I think it hurt having your top two running backs out like that. But I do feel like they're going to pass the football, and there's a bunch of RPOs at Jade Mayava's disposal if he wants to. The weird thing though is he hasn't run the ball that much, and I'm not sure why. It seems like he's avoiding it for some reason. I don't know if it's a coaching thing. we've asked him about the last week, and it just seems like he wants to get the ball to the playmakers. But I don't think this is a traditional, like, we're going to run, and then throw the ball. I think they open things up with the pass, and then it allows these rush lanes to open up for the running backs.
There was a quote from Matt Rule last week about what do we want to do versus what are we good at doing. And I wonder sometimes the way you've just talked about USC with, okay, obviously they can run the ball a little bit, quite a bit better this year than maybe they have, or more than they have in years past. But it seems like they still kind of want to get into these high-scoring shootout type games. Like how can Lincoln Riley balance stylistically the way they play to give them their best chance to win some of these games?
Yeah, I think it was funny. Last year, it seemed like he avoided running the ball. Like I mentioned, I think USC and Colorado, they had like 60% of the time they were throwing the ball. They went into like the Washington game, and Washington had the number one pass defense in the country, and Woody Marks was running well. And everyone's like, just run the ball. And Woody Marks was the MVP of the team last year, like the whole team. And for whatever reason, I think the first half, it was like 30 passes and 8 runs, if I remember correctly. And you're like, what is going on? And it seems more open, and they've used 2 running back sets. They've used a lot of 12 personnel. They like their tight ends. They're throwing the ball to tight ends more. They didn't have a tight end touchdown all last year, and I think they had like 4 or 5 in the first couple of games this year. So I don't know if he's just sort of listened to the criticism or just decided the personnel for this group is going to be better suited to some of these different, ways of attacking defenses. But it's looked a lot different. And I think maybe the most surprising thing for me is just Jay Maiava, is how he's matured and, not turning the ball over as much as he was before. He had the, turnovers against Notre Dame, but he's just seemed to do a much better job of just reading whatever the first, second to read is and just get the ball out. And I meant, so he's 10.2 yards per attempt, not completion. I'm sorry, I've said that before, but he's the only quarterback in the country averaging over 10 yards per attempt. So they're really effective throwing the football, and they've got some good receivers and everything. But I think that's helped everything else and open up the running game as well.
So let me ask you something, Ryan. This is fantastic stuff, too, by the way, because I appreciate just the level of candidness, too, because I think you have to get to that when you talk about a team like SC, who gets the narrative or the mantra of smoke and mirrors or the style over substance and all that other stuff. So the interview is fantastic. So let me dig a little deeper. You look at what's happening with Lynn in year 2. What's been the Ryan effect coming over? USC is one of those interesting organizations, hierarchy with the labels and assistant coach to this and assistant coach to that, and multiple defensive minds, multiple offensive minds. What's been the Ryan effect with Lynn on this defense? Because I think going in, it was going to provide some stability and some toughness, right, on that back end. How's it gone so far for you?
I mean, it's a great point. I felt that it was going to be a really good marriage. They've worked together in the NFL, and there seemed like the whole offseason, and he's the greatest guy to talk to. Like, if you want to interview a coach, like, oh my God, he's so fun.
They get runs in the family.
Yeah, it's like you could like, and it's funny. So just for the last several years, I know that USC and Nebraska haven't played, but to me, the linebacker spot, no matter how talented it's been, has not produced like the way you would need to. And then last year, Lincoln Riley brings in Matt Entz, who was, won national championships as a head coach at the FCS level, and he won there. He was there 1 year. I thought the linebackers played really well. Then they had some veteran guys that were transfers and stuff, and he becomes the head coach of Fresno State. And talking to him, he was like, I'm the head coach of the linebackers. I'm like, okay, the linebackers are going to play well. And they did. And I got the same feeling from talking to Rob Ryan in the offseason. I'm like, okay, he's going to take this over. The linebackers are going to play well. I know they're talented, but they don't have a lot of experience outside of Eric Gentry. And I was really confident that they were going to be very productive, and they just haven't been. I don't know what it's been. Desmond Stevens is like a really talented kid, but he's just not produced very well, that middle linebacker spot. I think it's hurt this defense quite a bit. And they have Rob Ryan, who's got all this personality, up in the booth for some reason. I don't know why that is. So that marriage is not working as well right now as Matt Entz did last year. And we'll see if they can turn things around. But they're just, to me, guys, it's just not getting the production out of the linebacker spots like you would expect. So I love Rob Ryan. He's great. He's a great personality. I'm not saying this is all on him, but they're not getting that linebacker production. I think that's one of the things that's hurting this defense.
It's been a little loosey-goosey on the back end with giving up big plays and tackling in particular as I'm getting ready for the broadcast on Saturday. How much of it do you feel like is top down or from the front of the house back, where it starts with D-line, linebacking, then the back end, when we want to critique what's happening on the back end? How much of it is complementary defense?
Yeah, I think that's part of it too. The defensive line looks better to me. They've got so much bigger, and there's more athleticism there. They've more options. There's some big guys like, you bring in like a Keyshawn Siller from Kentucky, and we just haven't seen him all that much. There's some of those guys that are, athletic, and Jamal Jarrett had a pick 6 earlier in the season, and he's hardly playing right now. So I'm not sure how that, but I think they are playing better up front. They were getting after the quarterback more pressures at least. They just didn't sack the quarterback well last year. But in the secondary, and then in the back 7, I think is where the bigger issues have been, giving up some of those plays. I think they've given up the most, like 50-yard plays, but they were really bad in the like 10+ yard plays, like the chunkier plays, ranked in the hundreds. Like it just, you allowing that to happen too often, just giving other teams first down. So yeah, it's something. And there is a level of confusion there. I think when Alex Grinch was the defensive coordinator, a lot of guys would be looking at their wristband as the ball's being snapped, not sure what their assignment was, and that got cleaned up last year. And I'm not saying it's creeping back in, but you're seeing a little bit of that where maybe guys aren't exactly sure. As the ball's being snapped, what to do.
This is fascinating because, again, just getting ready and watching and studying, this whole identity thing is big for both teams, right? Nebraska is really good at the quarterback spot, got good skill outside, probably a better run blocking offensive line. USC, Lemon is as good as it gets in the slot, maybe the best in the country, skill outside, Maeva, but you're running the ball well. How much of this game do you think settles into who we want to be versus who we need to be? Like the team that can figure that out first.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, because I think they needed to get away from the run, against Notre Dame, because it wasn't working early. And to Riley's credit, he kept trying to do it, but you had a walk-on running back in there, and the Irish were really focused on shutting that down, and they were effective throwing the ball, the intermediate routes and stuff. I think Jade Maava was under some pressure, but got away from it most of the time and was able to find guys. And I think that's one of those situations where that's what you needed to be. I think last year against Washington, like, they needed to be more of a running team, and sometimes you're trying to, I don't know if it's be too cute or just show the world like, hey, this is how we're going to do it. And I just don't think you're going to know if you still have your top 2 running backs out. Do what's going to work. And if it is running the ball and King Miller and Brian Jackson are going crazy, then let them go. But I think some of that, coaches can get really, stubborn about things, as you know, and sometimes they're doing it like, what's obvious, you don't want to do it because you're trying to show how smart you are, something like that. So I think, I think there's going to be opportunities for both teams, but are you going to go with what your perceived identity is, or are you going to go what's working at the time? I think that could be a really big factor in this one.
Ryan, what's something that Nebraska could do stylistically that you think would spell trouble for USC?
Oh, good question. I think sort of look at on the defensive side what Notre Dame was doing, that maybe like the scariest thing is the quarterback that's throwing for 10 yards a pop. But if you take away the run, it did seem to impact things in the passing game. So if it's bring an extra guy in the box and really try to not let Lincoln Riley and this offense get some of those quick hitters that they like to do, popping it when everyone's back on their heels because you're expecting them to throw the ball. Make sure you don't, let the run game get you, and then do what you can in the passing game. I think on that side, and then offensively, the quicker passing games, getting guys, on the outside. Sometimes they're playing really soft coverage. You can get some quick completions and easier first downs, and keep using it that way. I think USC hasn't played a lot of like press coverage and some of the underneath stuff has just been there for the taking. So I think, if Nebraska goes that way, I think those could be some effective ways.
That's pretty legit. It's fantastic stuff, Ryan. It's good stuff. I appreciate you taking the time and letting us get you going early on a Tuesday.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's funny. Like I just tell people, like before in 20 years ago when Pete Carroll was really good, LA radio is still very professional. I mean, you saw the Dodgers game last night. That's crazy. But so I started a podcast just because they don't talk a lot of college football, but places like in Nebraska would call me all the time to do, talk top 25. So I always loved doing Nebraska radio because it was like, oh, they like talking about college football.
Fantastic, man. We appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, guys.
That's Ryan Abraham from Inside Troy, owner of Inside Troy. Make sure you go check him out. You can find him on Twitter at Inside Troy.
That's fast.
Great stuff.
That
was really good stuff. Yeah.
The game within the game, the getting along, the marriages of philosophies. It's like
playing complementary.
It's like Spider-Man.
What can we do versus what should we do? What do we want to do versus what we need to do?
I thought, the first thing that got my attention was, well, I'm not sure that's a narrative. I travel with these guys.
Yeah, I was a little.
That was good. Like, okay.
Yeah, like obviously there's something real there in terms of.
Usually stereotypes come from somewhere, right?
Sure. Yeah. But it's hard to, I didn't, you don't want to make the assumption that, these guys just can't travel well, because you brought up a good point too. That they played some pretty tough teams on the road.
Sometimes you just have to parse through the difference.
Yeah.
Right, we're quick to say, they travel these time zones and they do this. Well, who are they playing?
Like Illinois is pretty good. Notre Dame's pretty
good.
Like
who are they playing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So are they favored? Are they like?
Yeah.
That's why I get into the rule versus
like
top
the top
25
thing. It's
some of those stats, like you have to.
When have you been favored? Right.
And how cool is it that a couple times this week, and it's not just me wanting you to be encouraged about Nebraska. It's me just saying, hey, I get what the stats say. You have to watch the game unfold. You have to watch SC. Something is going on that seems a little off from how daunting some of the numbers are.
Yeah,
that's where film study is critical.
You look at it, you go 530 yards per game, 42 points per game.
Look at their expected drive efficiency.
It seems scary,
right? That
means scary.
They're top. They're the best in the country. Like expected yards are the amount of yards you can go versus the amount of yards you do go.
Yeah.
That's why they score at a high clip on points per drive.
Yep.
They move the ball. Why aren't they better?
Yeah. And it also, part of me is also like, okay, what are we grading them on a scale too, in terms of
what we think
they should be versus what they are?
That's fair.
Because I think we do that with Nebraska sometimes too, where it's like, well, we saw them look like this once. Why don't they look like this now? Yeah. And I do think when you've got as much talent as USC does.
That's a good point.
And I see Mekhi Lemon and I go, how does anybody ever cover that guy? I feel like you just throw him the ball every time, you'd be fine.
Now, strategically, and we'll get into this with MRI on Thursday.
Yeah.
There are some things that are advantageous in terms of how Nebraska likes to play on the back end versus what SC does. That's the real game within the game.
There you go. Look forward to that with MRI on Thursday. But you'll see us tomorrow. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.